Good evening, everyone. Just thought I'd come on quickly and update everybody. It's just come to my attention because I've not really thought about it, but I've still not seen the game from earlier, the disputed game. But it says, according to my stats, I'm looking at the league table, that we are the only unbeaten team left in the Premiership. The only other team that was unbeaten has gone, and that was Arsenal. Now, loads of you have probably seen the game on Match of the Day or watched it earlier. I don't know on Sky, but I think it was on Sky. I haven't seen the game. I've recorded Match of the Day. I've not watched Match of the Day yet either. But yeah, at the end of the day, the history would just say it was Newcastle 1, Arsenal 0. The semantics of what happened in the game and who did what and who didn't don't really matter. It's the scoreline that matters. And Arsenal now have a big red L beside their name. So it then means that they are, it leaves us as the only undefeated team in the league going into tomorrow's matches. Obviously, that will remain the case because we don't play till Monday night. So at least till Monday night, we will be the only unbeaten team in the league, which will mean, for all intents and purposes, up until 7:59 on the 6th of November, we would have been unbeaten for the season, which is great news. So, yeah, just thought I only thought about it about 15 minutes ago. I thought, hold on. Obviously, I didn't see the game. And with not seeing the game, I know nothing about it. I've heard that there was a shenanigans. Havertz should have been sent off in the first half. Arteta was salty in his interviews, what I've been told. I would rather watch this later on tonight, which will be late night time once the family have gone to bed, or I will watch it tomorrow. But yeah, saying that, the league looks really good. Well, for good reading at the moment. I was also thinking to myself, tomorrow Liverpool play away at Luton, and Villa are away tomorrow, and it escapes me who they're away to. But who have Villa got tomorrow? They got one of the teams nearer the bottom, haven't they, tomorrow, I think. I'll tell you now, just have a look. So Luton, so they're Forest. So I think Villa are away at Forest, and Liverpool are away at Luton. And the way the league looks at the moment, you've got Liverpool on 23 points and Villa on 22. If they give me 2 seconds, I'll try and sort it out. Hold on. Sorry about that, we'll try again. Right. Can you hear me properly now? Or am I speaking too low? High, low, low, high. Hear you now, but it's still a bit low. Okay, well, I'll speak louder. Right, so if you've missed what I said already, it came to my attention just thinking about it 15 minutes ago, so I quickly jumped on to this now, is that we are the only team that are unbeaten in the league now that Arsenal have lost. So until 1959 on November the 6th on Monday, we will still remain the only unbeaten side because tomorrow's games do not affect us. Looking at the league at the moment, it looks quite pretty, and if Liverpool and Aston Villa, who both play tomorrow, who are currently 4th and 5th, win their games tomorrow, Then Liverpool will go to 26 points and Villa will go to 25. We'll remain on 26 and till Monday, and Manchester City will have 27. And in the gap to 6th place, Newcastle United will have 20 points, which then means that there's a 5 points difference between 5th and 6th. If we win our game, or I expect to win our game on Monday, then we will go 9 points clear of Newcastle United at 6th place. I haven't seen any of the match. I haven't seen any of the matches. And I was saying I've heard that Havertz should be sent off in the first half. I've heard that Arteta was salty in his interview and that. I mean, I don't know. Some of you guys may have watched it and you may know about it. But yeah, it just makes really good reading, and I'm really, really happy to see the league table as I can see it at the moment. Yeah, tomorrow's a big day. I've actually gone in my predictions. I've gone for Liverpool to draw, and I've actually gone to Forest to beat Villa. And if that was the case, and then we beat Chelsea on Monday, which I expect, then the table will look even rosier in comparison to our competitors around us. Which then leads us into one more game against Wolves, and then we've got the international break. So, yeah, I just thought I'd jump on and see what people had any opinions about that. They noticed that we were the only unbeaten side left as well. Yeah, I'm so happy. I'm really, really happy looking at the table at the moment. Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable where we are. This is so great to see where we are. And obviously, yeah, we played first last time, didn't we? And yeah, we played first the last time around in the last group of games. So now we've played last. So the first time we did it. The first time we played first, we went 5 points clear, and obviously that can be eroded by the time we play again because we were going to play last. And Man City have gone above us by a point, but it's the Arsenal game that I'm really. It's the Arsenal game. It's the Arsenal game that gets me because Arsenal were running. We were ahead of Arsenal, and we had a better goal difference than them. So if Arsenal had won today, they would have gone ahead of us, wouldn't they? If Arsenal won today, they would have gone ahead of us by a point. But the fact that they've lost, we're 2 points clear, and we've got that game in hand because we've got to play on Monday. It's absolutely fantastic. I'm absolutely buzzing, to be honest. The Man City were never going to lose against Bournemouth. Let's be absolutely sure about that. Man City were never going to lose at home at Bournemouth. Man City could have had 2 players sent off, and against most teams in the league with 9 players, Man City at home would still win. I'm as I said, looking at the table, and I can't show the table here, but looking at the table, it's absolutely brilliant. But yeah, I just wanted to see what people thought because I really, I don't know whether I'm late to the party or whatever, but it was about 20 minutes ago. I just thought to myself, wow, we're the only unbeaten team left. And I saw the table on my laptop and I thought, this is absolutely brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant looking at the table at the moment. And we haven't even played. We play on Monday. But yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, I've not heard since we streamed earlier. I've watched a few streams as well, and I've not heard much about Monday in the sense that I've not heard any more Tottenham news about the players and whatever. I think we had Chris Peters earlier in the chat, and he was talking about saying that Udogie was definitely out. But I've not seen that confirmed anywhere, so I'm not sure about that, whether he's out or not. I'm not I don't want to say that I don't trust Chris, because I do. Chris is a good lad, but I can't find where he's found the information that says that we're definitely going to be out without Udogie. But even without Udogie, let's bring in Emerson. Emerson can come in and do a job. I have more faith than other people saying that we have a big drop off the bench, because Emerson's come off for Udogie and he's played well. We've had young man Højbjerg's come off the bench and he's played well as well. So yeah, I don't believe all this is a really, really big drop off. And then plus we're getting players back from injury. as well, which is only going to strengthen our 11 and our 9, the main subs that we can then name. So Totspurs, you're saying the dog is 50-50. I love it. Ellie, you've changed your name to Ellie, just the girl who loves Spurs. Ellie, you've got more names, more aliases than anybody I've ever met. Sorry, but steady as sharp says Monday's going to be a challenge for sure, but we're in such a great place considering what we were expecting for the start. Totally agree with you, mate. Totally agree with you. They lost, so it's all cool, Jose. I'm buzzing too. Yeah, so am I. Top Spurs is saying, sorry, you probably can hear my daughters shouting each other. Both teams in the Gooner game should have been down to 10 men, and the goal dispute is a classic. Jose, you've got to see that. Top Spurs, I haven't seen anything. We were streaming earlier when the game was on, so I haven't watched it at all. But the comments that were coming through in the chat earlier.
You're so thick.
Right, so yeah, so I didn't see it. You've got a doggy. Sorry, let me go to this chat. You've got a doggy saying. Sorry, you've got Totspurs says the doggy's 50-50. That's exactly what I thought, Totspurs, from the presser. From the presser, I thought he said that a doggy was 50-50, but there was still 4 days to go. But yeah, I hope he does play. But what I'm saying is that we've got someone to come in and play. Yeah, you get late fitness test. Ellie's saying Odegaard is a weird one. I think he kicked up a stink because he was dropped to the bench and he dropped it for today's match. Really? I didn't know that he didn't play. I didn't realise that. I didn't realise that he didn't play. I thought Odegaard was their team captain. But mind you, you've got to change the team around and stuff like that. So, yeah. Yeah, I didn't realise he didn't. Tell them all to shush, Jose. Yeah, you know, when women are mental. God. VAR classic. Who's shouting? Ha. But obviously, I think you're referring to Newcastle, aren't you? To the Newcastle goal that was scored. I mean, I've heard, again, I've not seen this yet, but I've been told that the VAR looked at four different things. They looked at an offside, they looked at a handball, they looked at an out of play, they looked at a foul. They looked at 4 different things that they could have cancelled it off. But sorry, bear with me a second. Can you please shut up?
No, it's my house. By the door. Go to your bedroom.
Right, you're going to shut up now?
No. God's sake. I'm not going to shut your string.
Right, and Ellie's saying that was defo a goal. Right, that's defo a goal. Yeah, don't worry, they're driving me mad. Yeah, as I said, I haven't seen it, but as I said, by all accounts, what people were saying is that VAR looked at 4 different ways or 4 different phases of the game that could have amounted to 4 different things. And on the screen in the stadium, it was saying goal check for offside. Then it went a goal check for out of play. And then it went goal check for something else. And then goal check, 4 different goal checks that they did for the same goal. And it just kept coming up all the time. So, well, that's what I was told. As I said, I've not seen it. So, yeah. Monday, I've not heard nothing from Chelsea either. So it's, yeah, I've not heard. Chelsea been quite quiet, very quiet. The supporters have been very quiet. They're not been saying much at all. So, I'd probably tomorrow's Sunday, so it'll probably ramp up tomorrow, or maybe even after the 2 games are finished tomorrow. And when the 2 games are finished tomorrow, and we're the last ones to play, then we'll probably hear some chat about Chelsea then, and about Tottenham. Then it will really probably ramp up. I've not been on and checking out loads of stuff today, but I would have thought some of the channels, I don't know whether they've done it today, I'll be told, or whether they've got it lined up for tomorrow. They're going to do some rival chats where they're going to do, I don't know, Tottenham Chelsea rivals. So some of the channels bring on 3 of the Tottenham people and 3 of the Chelsea people, and they rival each other and talk to each other and battle it out before a game. That probably all starts tomorrow. So Mark Cousins, big up Jose, a bit late. I've been in the pub and a bit drunk. Go check out a play. Go check for a possible foul. Go check for a possible offside. Did you see it, Tospers? Am I right in what I'm saying? Because I'm only going by comments that people told me. That they checked 4 different things on why the goal should have been disallowed. Yeah. So you've got. Oh, hello. You've got Lisa. Good evening, Jose, in chat. Good evening, Lisa. Yeah, so the games remain to be seen, and yeah, you watched it. Did you watch it live, Totspurs? Sorry, did you watch it live, or have you watched Match of the Day? Because I can't remember. Because I think you was in the chat. Was you in the chat earlier? I think you might have been. You might have come in and popped in the chat earlier. Because I know that some people were watching it live on Sky while we were on. But I'm also aware that Match of the Day is probably either finishing or just finished or whatever. Because Match of the Day usually starts at 10:30. Lisa's saying, I watched it live and thought it was out of play. Also thought it was a possible foul, but I'll happily take the goal. Okay, yeah. So Lisa thought you thought 2 things. Okay. Yeah, so it was you that was watching it live earlier, because we had some people that were commenting on it earlier on while we were on. So as I said, I've not seen it, but at the end of the day, the history books are going to say Newcastle 1, Arsenal 0. So yeah, the great thing for me is we're unbeaten. I mean, I wish I could bring it up. If I could bring it up, you could see it. But yeah, we remain unbeaten. So we've played 10, won 8, drawn 2, and it's got lost 0. And we're the only team that have got a 0 in the loss column at the moment in the league table, which is absolutely brilliant. In saying that, though, Man City did themselves loads of favours today, because although they're a point ahead of us, they've now got a plus goal difference of 20. Yeah, they've got a goal difference of plus 20 at the moment, so they've done themselves no harm. Arsenal, even losing today, have still got plus 14. And so have Liverpool. And Newcastle have got plus 16, but they're well further back. And then we're on plus 13. So, and there was a time that we were thereabouts on goal difference the same as other teams, but they seem to have caught up, and that could be the lag that we're playing last as well. Steady Shark says, need a better camera angle for check the ball out of play. Who knows what a bird's eye view would see. Right, because I haven't seen it yet. Do you guys all remember the ball that went over the line in the World Cup that was given to everybody? Looked like it was Spain in the Women's World Cup. I can't remember now, but in the World Cup, there was a ball that had gone past the line, or everyone thought it had gone past the line out of play, but they gave the goal. Was it that type of goal that was out of play, or they deemed to be out of play today? But Arsenal were crap today, honestly. Newcastle deserved the win. I think Ellie was another one that was watching it, and Ellie turned around. I'm sure Ellie turned around and said at the time that Arsenal were all over Newcastle towards the end of the first half, if I remember rightly. Yeah, I know, Eddie. I was jesting. I was just saying that you have more names than more than everyone, but it's just brilliant. I'm surprised that you've managed to get rid of the Højbjerg name. Though I know you're part of the channel, but Højbjerg names are gone, and I thought I was going to stick with you until he left the club. So it's quite funny. I'm only jesting. Hi Jose, why are you up? I was watching it live too. Chris, I live in England the same as you do. It's midnight. The reason why I came on, which I said earlier, is that I looked at the league table about 11. I looked at the league table, and I messaged Colin to see if he was around or not, and he's not answered, so he's probably still out of Beth. And I thought to myself, I'm just going to quickly jump on and tell people, because I only noticed it about 11:30, just looking at the league table, that we're the only unbeaten team left in the league. We got a 0 in our loss column, and everybody else has at least 1. And the last person to have a 0 was Arsenal. So now, and I'll repeat again, till 7:59 on Monday the 6th of November, we will be undefeated in the league. So we're undefeated till at least the 6th of November. Who would have said that at the start of the season? Who would have said that? And that's why there. You got Totspur saying ball was definitely out, but in. Ball was definitely out, but in. Never a foul. He leaned forwards and fell over lol. And no offside. They couldn't draw a line to prove otherwise, so it's a goal. Fair enough. Oh, by the way, Ellie yeah. And there's lots of love going to you, Ellie, who's now changed her name, but there's loads of love. It wasn't over the line because Arsenal lost love. Commentators also mentioned the game with Germany and Japan. Yes, that was in the World Cup, wasn't it? There was a World Cup. I remember there being a World Cup game where the ball went and it looked like it'd gone out of play for love. And even when they did the angles from above the ball, down, looking down, even to me then, when they did that, it looked out. The ball looked out of play completely. Yet they gave it. And that's why I'm saying that people were all making comments. And that's why I'm asking people that seen the game, because I've not seen it. So you're just confirming it. So, yeah, well done, Totspur. Steady as shot says the ball looked like it probably over the line with the normal camera angle, but I think there's a chance that it was still inside if we had a better angle. Right. I was one that said Newcastle went full defence. Was it you, Chris? I knew someone was saying it because there's a few of you that were watching the game live when we were on earlier. Yeah, Ellie, you're still the Queen Hoiberg. Yeah. Totspur is giving it to you. Look, he's saying only until January. Big up, Leo. Big up, mate. The Queen of the Programmes. Am I live again? Yeah, Chris. At 11:30 my time, half an hour ago, I thought to myself, bloody hell, we're the only unbeaten team in the league. So I thought I'd come on and shout it out that we are the only unbeaten team in the league, and we've got a 0 in the loss column where nobody else has. We're the only ones. So I thought I'd quickly jump on. It appears I don't think anybody's about at the moment. Thought everyone would have been in bed. It's a Saturday night. Thought everyone would have been in bed, but I'm surprised I've got 10 people watching here. So yeah, it's all good. And then we've got Lisa O. I watched Arteta's post-match presser just for a bit of a chuckle. He was literally fuming. Won't take a bit of him to blame himself there. Yeah, we discussed this earlier when we were on the light, when we were on our show earlier. And we were all saying that win or lose, Arteta has sour grapes. Whether win or lose, he always has sour grapes anyway. And he's not a humble man. He's not gracious. He won't give plaudits. I think the only time he gave half a plaudit out was when Man City went and smashed them 3-1 at their gaff last season. And I think he gave Pep Guardiola half of a compliment. Do you know what I mean? It was still, yeah, although they were a good side, it was us. We did this, we did that. So, yeah. Jose, you should have carried on earlier stream after Colin left. I did, Chris. I carried on. Instead of, I said I was going to go till 8 o'clock, and instead of going on till 8 o'clock, I actually went on till about 8:30. So I stayed on after Colin left for about another 45 minutes with Adrian, who was on as a guest, and so was Chris from Meta Football. So I stayed on with them two for a further 45 minutes. I took time off needed and all. Watson life needed called heart rate. Just a day, minutes or an hour. We do or listen to things. We love quiz. Thank you, Jose. Nita, how are you? I hope you're well. Missed you yesterday for the predictions. But hopefully you'll be back next week, next Friday. The scores will not be affected greatly, I don't think, because in order to get a sizable lead in this competition that we're playing, you're going to need to basically get most of your correct predictions for about 5 or 6 weeks on the trot. and even then you can be pulled back. All it takes is if someone gets 3 correct predictions, they get 9 points to get the correct scores. But if someone predicts the right side but the wrong result, then they can pick up 10 points every week if you're doing that for every game. So yeah, missed you yesterday, but yeah, there's always room to come back next Friday and yeah, do it again. His team faff about and don't finish their dinner. Oh yeah. Right, bloody hell, Arteta, he's such a sore loser. That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying that I think he is as well because, like I said, I'm not seeing what he's commented about today. But every time I see him after a game, win, lose, draw, whatever the case may be, it's always something else. It's never him. He coached the team badly. He did anything wrong. His players have not done anything wrong. It's all about everybody else apart from him. And like I said, Ellie, the only time I can ever remember him giving half a bit of praise to someone was when Pep, I think they went and beat him 3-1 or 4-1 at Arsenal last year. When Man City went on that long run in January onwards and started beating everyone. And I think they played Arsenal really quickly twice in that year and he won both games. But I think they played first at Highbury and they won 3-1. Or Emirates, should I say, and they won 3-1. Todd Spurs is saying, I want to see a video of one of Ange's motivational speeches to our players pre-game. Yeah, it's quite a weird one because we're not in the changing room and we're also not on the training pitches throughout the week. And it'd be interesting to know because you get interviews with players after the game or pre-game or whatever, and they all say to people, what did the gaffer say to you? What did the manager say to you? What was his talk about? Blah, blah, blah. And the players always say something or other about, yeah, he just said this and he just said that. And you think to yourself, are they just telling us what we want to hear? Or do these things actually really go on? So, yeah, it'd be interesting to be a fly on the wall, Tot Spurs, to a pre-game motivational speech from Ange, whether it be pre-game or whether it be on the training pitches, wherever it is. Yeah, I'd be interested too as well. Steady Shot says, honestly, Arteta comes across like a bit of a nutcase to me. He doesn't seem well adjusted at all. We were discussing this earlier, and at the end of the day, he was salty as a player as well. As a player, he's very salty. And like I said, he's not gracious. I mean, I said on the stream earlier that I'm from Spain, and I'm Spanish as well, but he's not gracious, and he just doesn't come across well either. At the end of the day, if you get beaten by a better side or someone does something better than you, just come out and say it. But to deny it and not say it on every occasion makes you look stupid, makes you look like more of a fool. I mean, I can see and I can just imagine, not that I'm a drawer or a sketch artist, but I can imagine that caricatures coming out of him blowing his trumpet after today's game. Although I've not seen it, but I can just imagine it. But yeah, it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to see. Half-time talk would be good, is what Chris Peters says to Tot Spurs, and Tot Spurs agrees that the half-time talk would be good to hear as well. Yeah, so I don't know. What are your thoughts? What are people's thoughts on it? Are people happy that or did people always also? Because it went unnoticed when we were talking earlier, and like I said, it only clicked in my head about half 11. That we're the only unbeaten team left in the league. Did you all realise this? Because I didn't. It completely went over my head. So it's brilliant to have a 0 in the loss column. It's absolutely fantastic. And yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, if I could share the league table with you, I'll be rejoicing even more than I am at the moment. But yeah, so that being said, I think I gave an update earlier on the predictions. But tomorrow's game, what time is tomorrow's games? I haven't got a clue what's going on this weekend. Right, so tomorrow, okay. So Forest play Villa at 2:00. I think they must be on live as well on Sky because it's a 2:00 game and there's a 4:30 game. So I think Forest are live with Villa at Sky at 2:00. And that would be, I think, 11:00 in where Colin's from. And possibly 10:00 where Jacob's from tomorrow morning. And then you've got Luton Town, Liverpool is at 4:30 our time, which I think makes it 11:30 in Collins' time and 10:30 in the morning Jacob's time. Right, so then we're playing. Right, Chris Peters, you're saying pundits are saying Arsenal got cheated by VAR. Also, that Arsenal waiting for an apology from PG Melder. Right, if any of you watched Match of the Day, who were the pundits tonight? Who was with Lineker? Was it Shearer and Wright? Because if it was Wright, then Wright would probably be for the Arsenal. It would be for Arsenal. Yeah, for sure. It's a good feeling to be unbeaten. Let's keep this train moving forwards. Yeah, I totally agree. I knew it because City have lost 2, Arsenal lost 1, and Chelsea lose every other week. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. Colin in the show earlier was trying to go through the Chelsea lineup, and we looked at the lineup that Chelsea had in their last game, where they lost to Brentford 2-0 at home, didn't they? They were all over Brentford, they were losing 2-0. So we were looking at their lineup that started, and we were discussing that Pochettino has come out and said, although I can't put my hand on it, but I know he said it because in a few people reported me, that he says that he believes that Chelsea have misspent £1 billion on the players that they've all brought in, and that he's been given an impossible task there, and he's been given 40 players to manage that, that haven't gelled or anything. Do you know what? What we're going to do is just bring 40 players in. And we saw how the Nottingham Forest manager, I can't remember his name now, he used to manage the under-21 or the under-20s or whatever when they won the World Cup a few years ago. But anyway, the Forest manager, you can see they've got a Greek owner, I think, and he went out and he spent loads of money and bought in, was it 35 players last season? By the start of last season, or by the time it came to the January transfer window last season, he bought in 35 players. And Forest did well to survive in the league last year. And he did a miracle job, the fella. He really did, to keep Forest up with 35 players that have been bought in. And what makes it even more of an achievement for me is that Forest had come up through the playoffs the season before. And you've got a team that's played for you all season. You've got players that have played for you all season. They've got you to the Premiership, even though it's in a playoff game in the final. They've got you to the Premiership, and once they've got you to the Premiership, the owner says, "Well, do you know what? I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy a whole load of players," which then must put the backup to the players that got them to the Premiership. Now, there's one thing if you might not be good enough and you have to reinforce the squad, but to bring in 35 players. And I don't think many of the team, can't be squad, many of the people that were in the team that came up that season actually survived and played last season. Quite a few of them. Steve Cooper, that's it. It's Steve Cooper. Cheers, Ellie. So quite a few of the players that brought them up didn't even get into the side, didn't even get a sniff last season. So they done well. But you've got this case in point again with Pochettino. Now, regardless whether you believe that the calibre of player is better than what Forest brought in, that's neither here nor there. At the end of the day, he's going to have the same problems. He's going to have players that they couldn't get rid of that played last season for Chelsea or have been at Chelsea, and then all these players that they brought in, and then he's going to be expected to secure, I don't know, for argument's sake, Champions League football or European football. It's going to be difficult for anybody to do that, because you see Forest, and they're on a different wage, they're on a different budget altogether, but they had to survive just to stay in the Premiership with 35 new players. Chelsea got 40 odd new players. So for them, I can't see Chelsea, for the life of me, I can't see Chelsea finishing in the. Is it 7 teams that qualify for Europe this year, or is it 8? I don't know, 7 or 8. But whatever it is, I can't see Chelsea finishing in the European spots. And that's not now. That's by the end of the season. I can't see them doing it because, at the end of the day, I don't even know whether they're going to get rid of more players in January, buy more players in. He's going to have to sort that squad out and trim it down to what he wants. anyway, we was trying to work out who was going to play against us on Monday. And in all honesty, you could just it's like getting a pack of cards, 52 cards, and just go, throwing them up in the air, wait to see what lands, and then picking up 11 of them cards, saying, okay, that's my starting 11. Because they've got so many players and they haven't got any, they're not conducive, they've not played together. So to build up patterns of play and stuff like that, you need to play together, you need to be doing it on the training pitch. But when you're training everybody, you know, the 40 people train together, or do they have to split them up into groups? Do you know what I mean? So, anyway, it's their problem. They've got to deal with it. But regardless of who Chelsea put out, some people are saying that they're going to give us a game. I think the Chelsea of old would have given us a game. I'm not sure whether this Chelsea will give us a game. Yes, Jim, it is. I'm not sure whether this Chelsea will give us a game because because they've got so many different players and stuff like that, and they're not cohesive. And because they're not cohesive, I'm not sure that they're going to give us a game. I mean, they could turn around and probably, worst case scenario for me, they could probably turn it on for about 20 minutes. But they ain't going to do it for the whole game. Doesn't matter they're playing top. They're not going to do it for the whole game because there's just no cohesiveness in their team. We're cohesive. We've got patterns of play. You know, we look like a collective. They don't. They look like a bunch of individuals. So I'm quite confident. I think people turned around and said in their predictions, I've heard people say in their predictions, if the doggy plays, we're going to win by this score. But if he doesn't play, then we're going to win by 1 goal less. So I think someone said yesterday on the show, if a doggy's playing, we'll win 3-0. But if a doggy doesn't play, no, I think we'll win 2-0. But if a doggy plays, we'll win 3-0. I'm just a believer that we're going to win. So the result that I predicted is the result that we get, whether we play a doggy or whether, it doesn't matter who our starting 11 is. I think that we'll still play and we'll still win by the result I've said. So, yeah. Yeah, so you've got Chris coming in saying, I wouldn't imagine 40 players training together. You'd have the registered 25 mandatory and then non-registered training apart. Yeah, with the players though, Chris, with the 25, if they're under 21, they don't have to be registered in your 25 squad, but they can still count. So in that case, you could have more than 25 players training. How many players Chelsea got? They're under the 21 or under. Yeah, so they can train. So for us, you've got a doggy. A doggy's not in our 25 because he's under 21, so he doesn't count. You got Veliz. Veliz is in our squad, but he doesn't count as part of the 25. You've got Ashley Phillips, doesn't count as part of the 25. So you've got a lot of Chelsea players, they won't count. So therefore you could get all of them training because a lot of the youngsters won't count towards the 25. So as I said, he's got the problem. He's got to deal with that. We don't have that problem at all. We're more settled than what they are. Whether you throw the cards up in the air and pick 11 players, which is what they're going to have to do, that's down to them. For me, there's no cohesiveness. They will turn up for about 20 minutes. I can't see them turning up for any more than that. And as I said earlier, I think the game, and as a few of us agree, we think the game will be won or lost in midfield. And at the moment, we've got a rare in midfield to go on flight on Monday. So I don't think we're going to get I think we're going to get a beast of a Basuma, or that's what I'm hoping. We'll get a beast of a Basuma on Monday, because when we played the last game, Basuma was on 4 yellows. He'd just come back, 4 yellows, and he played within himself. He didn't really overexert. He played within himself and then got substituted because obviously he must have had in the back of his mind he wants to play against Chelsea. So regardless of how he goes about on the pitch, whether he picks up another yellow card or not, it's neither here nor there. At the end of the day, what's going to happen is that Basuma should be playing out of his skin on Monday. And once he plays out of his skin on Monday, then it'll be all the better for Tom. All the better for Tom. What have we got? I smelled the coffee this morning, then made breakfast, then watched the Man United game. I tune into football on TalkSport. When I got home, did I hear ask one to Arse 1-0 to Newcastle. Yeah, that's true. You did hear that. Jim. Oh, Jim had a kid. Oh, you had a kid this afternoon, did you, Jim? So you're awake now. Hello, Kate. So I've got just the guy who loves Spurs, Kate, just the guy who loves Spurs, Jim, and Ellie, just the guy who loves Spurs. I've got the whole crew here. Yes, Ben, it is late. Oh, sorry. Where is Ben? Yeah. Am I going to shout? Yeah. Oh, it's my. Does it stop working? Oh, it's back now. What happened there then? Oh. Yeah, late night, Mr. Kaufman. So what happened is about 11:30, it struck me, don't know why, but it struck me that we were we remain the only undefeated team in the league, which I didn't think about earlier. I was sitting there, I think to myself, hold on, if Arsenal had lost, then they've got their zero's gone. So the only team that've got a zero in the league is Tottenham. And looking at the league table looks absolutely brilliant at the moment. I know Liverpool are playing tomorrow. I know Villa are playing tomorrow. They're both away from home. If they were to win both of their games, then Villa would be 5th on 25. Arsenal would be 4th on 24. Liverpool would probably be above us on goal difference because they've got better goal difference by 1 goal at the moment. We'd be in 3rd on goal difference, and Man City would be top on 27. But after we win on Monday night, we are going to the summit and we'll have 29 points. And once we've got 29 points and if Villa were to win tomorrow, they've got 25, then the gap between Villa and Newcastle will be 5 points. And between us and Newcastle and 6th will be 9 points. So, yeah, I was just reflecting on it and I thought, let me jump on. And I jumped on, saw that nobody else was streaming because your 3 Spurs boys had finished by then. So I just thought I'd come in and do a quick one. But then I've got people in the chat now, so I'm here. Jim saying, Jose, we lost for Chelsea in midfield and 1 for us in midfield. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying, like I said, with Basuma hasn't got that tightrope around him about this yellow card because I think that although we don't want him to get a yellow card, we'd rather him go and play against Wolves. We'd rather him put a mountain of an effort in for us on Monday. And once he's done that and put a mountain of effort in on Monday, we smash Chelsea and he picks up the yellow and so be it, picked up the yellow. And then we miss him for Wolves, but then we've got Højbjerg, and Højbjerg's played well. I think, like I said yesterday, I'd like to see us. To see if we can play for 90 minutes, not play for the first 45 or play for the second 45. I just want to see us play for 90 minutes or at least 60 minutes to have a more sustained period of playing. Yeah, we lose or draw, we'll still be above the scum. That's correct. That's what I said. That'll be there. Chris Peters I don't know if he's referring to Ben watching the film or whether Ben's watching the film. We all love Spurs in it, as they say in London. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, the screen went black, and I'm not using my laptop. I'm using my iMac. So, and then my iMac's never gone out, but it went out earlier. I don't know why. Yeah, when we beat Chelsea, we'd be 5 points clear of scum. Yeah, that's exactly right. 29 to their 24. But the biggest achievement for me, is honestly the reason why I've done this, is that we've got a big fat 0 in the loss column. We've got the last unbeaten team in the Premier League. Who would have said at the start of the season that we're still unbeaten until Bonfire Night? Who would have said that at the start of the season? Come on. tomorrow's bonfire night. It's the 5th of November, and it's tomorrow, yeah. It's today even because it's midnight, and we're still unbeaten. And the fact that we're still unbeaten is absolutely brilliant, and I'm so happy. And it just, as I said, I only clicked in about 11:30, thinking, "Whoa, we're unbeaten, we're unbeaten." The day after tomorrow is what Ben's watching. Okay, yeah. Right, Totspurs, no way Biss not get a yellow against Chelsea. I don't know, Totspurs. I think if we look at it, right, he has had 4 yellow cards, obviously, and he's had that one sending off, right? So they rescinded the yellow because he got sent off and made it red. But from the yellows that he's got, two of them yellows have been for dissent. And to me, I mean, I know for the people that have played football, not just watched it, but people that have played football, you do get frustrated with referees and that. But at the end of the day, what's the point? What's the point arguing with a referee? If they've given something, they ain't going to change their mind. Do you know what I mean? Especially when if you play football, we used to have to pick up in football. We used to have to pick up our own fines. So if you got yellow carded, red carded, the club would pass you the fine. You'd have to pay for it, and you think to yourself, well, what's the point of me doing all this? Because at the end of the day, you know, I'm not going to get a reverse of decision and that. And by me going at the referee saying you've got to change your mind, that was not right, you cheat, or whatever you say, you're then picking up the bill because the club won't pick up the bill. I mean, it's different for professionals. The club probably pay the yellows and the reds, but they probably then fine back the players and get the money out of the players anyway. So there's no point arguing. The referee gives saying just let him give it and done. You know, there's other channels of how you can speak to the referee, but don't go and get yourself a stupid strawberry yellow card for dissent. There's no need, and there's way too many that happen. I think one of the worst for that is Fernandes and Man United. Fernandes and Man United, most of the yellows he gets is for dissent because he little rat face can't keep his mouth shut, can he? When he goes when he's on the pitch for referees. So, top Spurs, Jose. We have heard Ange say he wants any January new additions in fast. Do you trust Levy to back him and get them in early? Like I've said in the past, right, and I'm not privy to what goes on at Tottenham Hotspur, but my thoughts are, and my thoughts remain to be, that you have a list of players that you want. So you've got the list, and I believe that the list is with Paratici and has been since last year or whatever, or when he started. He's got a list of players. Obviously, we're playing a different game, a different style of football now. We're not playing the football that was played when he came in and we had Conte and Nuno. We're playing a totally different game of football. So the players that they're scouting, obviously, you've got players, or the players that they're listing, have got to be players that can play this system. There's no point buying Conte players for Ange. It ain't going to work. You have to buy Ange players for Ange. So I think that they've got a list of players. They've got scouts that are actually doing a bit of work. They're probably doing this model of looking at stats and stuff like that as well. I have no reason to disbelieve that we've not already approached agents, because you're not meant to approach players, but we've approached agents and probably said to agents, we fancy your player. Does he fancy coming to us if we put a bid in next year? Because, you know, it's like anything. When you start bidding for players, right, 9 times out of 10, when you bid for a player now, regardless of whether they say no, and you have to come back in with another bid for a bit higher, you're bound to get that player if you're bidding for them. And because you've done your homework, you've already gone and tapped them up through their agent and all that. So I'm thinking to myself, this has already occurred. I think that we have players that we want, and quite possibly the players that we want are players that we want for next season for the summer window. But in saying that, I think it all depends on where we are, what stage we're at in January. And I don't think it'll be decided in January. I think it'll be decided leading up to January. But what stage we're at in January, and from there, if someone becomes available that was on our list for the summer, then there's a possibility we might be able to go for them because we want to secure them. It's a hard one, Spurs, because I think, in all honesty, watching some of Ange's other teams that he's managed, we are nowhere near And I mean, they were playing well. You know, we're nowhere near having the team or squad that he would like, that fits his mould on what he wants to see. He's just using the pawns that we've got at the moment, either the players that we've got to get by and do what we need to do this season. There are many players that we probably still need to bring in. We have to, although we've revolutionised, I think, looking at the squad of the 25 players, I think something like 16 have been brought in under Paratici, and with Ange being in, we've had 16 players come in. So that leaves you with 9 players that probably don't fit the mould type thing, that they haven't been brought in. So I'd like to think that between January and, if we get rid of anyone in January, put it this way, if we're going to go for people in January, we have to get rid of players as well. So players have to leave the club in January in order for us to bring them in to keep the numbers right. But I just think it's one of them that it's all dependent on where we are nearing January. And I think that the decisions will probably be made. I don't think this month. I think there might be discussions going on. I think in December they might start thinking to themselves, well, we could be here or we could be there come January. This is what we're going to do. But I'd say that we need to get rid of players. We can't just bring them in because our squad will then have the situation where we'll probably have players in the squad, if we brought players in, that we can't move on, and then we're still having to pay their wages, but they can't fit into the 25 system. So, yeah, it's a hard one. What do you think, Toss Brothers? What do you think? Oh, good night, Jim. Sorry, I've only just seen you. Good night. I was just waffling away. I've only seen you. Yeah, it's a good night. Who we got? Troy Bier is as strong as a tornado, and he stings like a bee. Okay. Ellie says, I'd love to get Kyogo, Mitoma, Neto, Jimenez, Chiesa, and Ferguson. Kyogo from Celtic, Mitoma, Neto, Jimenez, Chiesa, Ferguson. Out of them, Ellie, I think 3 are definitely no-goes. Yeah, I think 3 of them are definitely no-goes. I think Kyogo, Mitoma, and Ferguson are untouchable. Yeah, I think they're untouchable, to be honest. I don't think you're going to get them 3 players. I think Celtic will keep on the Kyogo. And, yeah, I don't think Celtic will sell Kyogo. I don't think Brian are looking to get rid of Mitoma and Ferguson. Not in January anyway. But even still, it will cost a hell of a lot of money. There is talk in Italy that the clubs are so skint in Italy that they're prepared to do deals. And Chiesa's now appearing. And although I rate Chiesa and I think he's a really good player, I think that even though they might need the money, they're going to ask for top dollar for Chiesa. They won't let Chiesa go cheap. Jimenez is not going to be cheap. Jimenez may have been cheap if you bought him last summer, but because he's continued his form into this year, albeit it is in the Dutch league, but even though he's continued this year, he's scoring goals in Europe as well. So, yeah, I think Jimenez. What's Jimenez? Jimenez ain't going to cost you anything less than 50 million. I think he's going to be 50 million plus this coming summer. And if he continues scoring, it might even be more. Neto is a player that possibly. I mean, I think he's young as well, but possibly it could be a player that Wolves might want to let go. It all depends, because this summer just gone is when Wolves had the problems, and Wolves had to sell a load of players. Now, I play football on a Wednesday with a guy who's a Wolves supporter, and he wasn't too sure what was going to happen this season because of the amount of fire sales that they had to do in the summer to balance their books. So I'm not sure whether they're going to be all right for money this season. But if they ain't, then Neto would be an interesting one. But I think Neto, because he plays Premiership football as well, I don't think Neto's going to be any cheaper than 40 million, to be honest. I don't think you're... Okay, I've just seen your message come through. Yeah, I know he's currently injured, but I'm just saying that if they were going to sell him, I don't see him coming for any less than 40 million. Kate's saying, Ellie, that you now want Neto. Ellie saying Neto, Jimenez and Chiesa. Right, I don't trust Levy to act fast in January. I don't ever record him doing it. They always bring up that we must sell players first, which honestly worries me. The only reason why I'm saying that to us Spurs is that we have a squad of players and we're paying every single one of them at the moment. And if we're going to add to our ranks in January, then okay. So in January you can only change the squad by 3 players. So if we bring in 3 players, right, that takes us. If we bring in 3 players, then we've got to swap out 3 players. If we can't get rid of the 3 players, then we're going to have to pay for the wages for them 3 players as well. And I think that's where the sticking point is, to be honest. But we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. Kate is agreeing with you. And good night, Kate, by the way. She said good night, so I'm saying good night to her. You're right, Top. He never spends in January. Ben wants Wang Hee Chan. He's South Korean, I believe, as well. And yeah, he's a decent player. He looks quite bulky to me. He looks quite, yeah, he does look quite bulky to me. But yeah, he could be one that could be looked at, I suppose. He'd be a lot cheaper than Neto, I would have thought, as well. So he's 23 but injury prone. That's the only problem. His hamstring keeps going. He's a bit like Cess with injuries. Really? What is that, Neto? I think you're talking about. Yeah, I think that's I think that's Neto that you're talking about. I don't know what his injury record's like, but I know that he's he looks a good player. He looks a good player. He's one of them ones that get you off your feet and out of your chair and that. The game that he'd done his injury in, I can't remember who they were playing, but I saw him go down. I saw him get the injury. I was unfortunately it was live on telly, and I watched him, and you see him pull his hamstring, and then he had to pull up. But yeah, he decent shout. Off to bed. Good night. Well, to sleep, I mean. Ellie, you can hear fireworks. I think when you get people with fireworks, they'll do them any time. I don't think there's any law, is there? And you're saying he was out for 95% of the last season. I'll tell you what, there's a player that I like the look of. I've seen really, really, really small rumours about him and Tottenham. Is Nico Williams at Atletico Bilbao. He's only 21. He's got frightening pace. And he plays in the attacking 3 for Bilbao. It's weird because he played for Spain in the World Cup and his brother played for, I think his brother played with Ghana or someone like that in the World Cup. But yeah, Nico Williams is a player that I would seriously consider because his contract runs out next summer. And we all know that these people, and even Paratici, who does our cooking, we know that he loves the free. So yeah, but I think there'll be players in for him next summer. I think Spanish clubs will probably be in for him as well, to be honest. But in all honesty, the money's over here, so I think that clubs in England could end up outbidding any Spanish clubs for Nico Williams. I like the look of Nico Williams. I do anyway. I just think he's really, really quick. Good night, Ben. Take care, mate. Thank you very much. See you later. Yeah, Nico Williams is another one I'd look at because his contract runs out. So I'd look at Nico Williams. Yeah, I'd look at Nico Williams out of the ones that and I don't know this. I think Chris from Met Football said it earlier, or he said his name earlier, someone. I think Adrian said it, Grissery or someone like that. I don't know. I'm presuming he's a wide forward. And if so, yeah. Yeah, if so, then if this Grissery's any good, then yeah, let's look at him. Nita says in January, we need a centre back and a forward that can give us goals. We need to go far and wide. How many centre backs are we going to be able to attract and bring in a January window? I'm not doubting that's one of the areas that we fall back on. Yeah, that's one of the areas I know that we need to fall back on. We need to get defenders in or centre back in. Forwards as well. How many forwards are going to be willing to come to us in the January window? I remember last season or the season before in the winter window, we bid for Luis Diaz, and his bid was accepted by the club. He was at Portuguese club. He was accepted by the club and also accepted by the agents and everything. It was all accepted because we met the requirement of the asking price for once. And then as soon as we'd done that, Liverpool were then alerted to it because Liverpool had him on the summer shopping radar. Liverpool then alerted to it, matched our bid, and Diaz has always said that he wanted to go to Liverpool anyway, so they ended up getting him. Now, he's the last player that I can remember, not only our club, but last player that I can remember of a forward type player that went in January. I can't remember many forwards going in January, but as much as we probably would love a forward, again, I'll keep repeating, we need to get rid of players if we're going to bring players in January, because otherwise they're not going to fit. Grissery from Stuttgart. Okay, so Grissery from Stuttgart. I don't know much about him, Chris. You may do. I don't know much about him. I've just heard the name. John Fitzpatrick. Hey, evening, John. Coys. Let's beat the scum and keep the pace at the top of the summit. John Fitzpatrick, let me ask you, because I only noticed this, and this is why I jumped on. About an hour ago, I noticed that we had a 0 in the loss column. So we remain the only unbeaten side. I didn't realise this after the games earlier. It was just about 11:30 tonight. I thought, oh my God, we're the only unbeaten team in the Premiership. So that means, who would have thought at the start of the season that we'd go into Bonfire Night as the only unbeaten to start off with, but then the only unbeaten team in the league as well? Who would have thought it? Come on, the mighty Spurs. Come on, you boys. It's absolutely brilliant. I'm buzzing that we're the only unbeaten team left in the league. And yeah, long may it continue. I don't want to be defeated. I hear people say, well, what's going to happen when we do get defeated? Well, no, let's not think that way. Let's not get defeated. Let's not get defeated, is the way I see it. Got a comment from Totspurs. It's brilliant because it comes through quicker on YouTube than what it does in the StreamYard. Quality forwards that could be bought in January are scarce, in my opinion. Yeah, totally agree with you, mate. May have to wait until the summer for a number 9. We need to bring in some form of attacker with goals in him for sure. Yeah, but I want to see Veliz. If we spent money on him, which we did, we spent 12, 16 million or something on him to bring him from Argentina, then I want to see him. We've brought him in. I want to see him. I want to see him play. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I'd like to see him play. Do you know what? I'm getting tired of talking. Let me have a look if I can do this. There we go. There we go. It's much easier, isn't it? There you go. I had total trust in Ange at the beginning of the season, but not in the back end. Total 180. Interesting. Interesting. I had total trust in Ange at the beginning of the season, but not now in the back end. Total 180. Okay. So you had total trust in Ange at the beginning of the season, but not in the back end. So basically, you thought he might have been backed. So you trusted an Ange, but not that he'd get back. Okay. Yeah. So I'm just saying, I'm reading it out again. Yeah. So I've got that, I suppose. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Fair enough. Interesting. Yeah. So tomorrow. See what tomorrow brings. Yeah, we've got someone here. Buenas noches, amigo.
Why are you whispering?
Because your family must be asleep because it's like 10 to, is it 10 to 2 for you in the morning?
Yeah, I'm all right here though.
Oh yeah, okay, fair enough. Did I wake you up?
Me, no.
You've just got that puzzled look on your face.
Me, no. I'm wondering why you're whispering.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm whispering, am I? I'm whispering. Yeah, who is Chris? Who is Grissery? Do you know about him? Because I don't.
Do I know what?
Grissery. The one that you said from
Guirassy.
Stuttgart.
Yeah,
do you know
he's
him?
he's probably a one-hit wonder from Stuttgart because they're living off his goals.
Was he a forward or a wide player?
No, forward.
What, centre? Down the centre?
Yeah, number 9.
And where's he? What nationality is he? Where's he from and whatever? What's his
He's from wherever he was born. God, absolutely no idea about him. Nothing. I just know his name.
Right, now you said that. Now I'm going to have to look him up. As you're talking, I'm going to have to look him up. So,
hello, everybody. Hope you're keeping well.
Grissery.
Guirassy.
Sir who? Guirassy?
Probably. He's probably got about 27 brothers.
27 years old.
Said who? Yeah, 27.
Number 9 from Stuttgart.
From France.
Come on then. It's the
Hello.
Little Football TV crew. I'm not putting my camera on because I've taken off all my makeup and I'll scare you.
It wouldn't scare me. Yeah, sorry, he's a French striker. You're right. He's a French striker. Serhu Yaladali Grissery.
Yeah.
Let me have a look, see how many goals he scored. Go on, you have a chat. Let me see if I can bring him up.
Chat.
Right, so this guy is a guy that started his career at Laval, obviously in France, then played for Lille, but came out of their first team and went into their B team, then got sent out to Auxerre on loan, then was signed by FC Cologne in 2016. Cool, he's been about for a while. Then he went to Amiens in France on loan. Then he played for Amiens. Then he played for 1 season for them. Then he went for Rennes for 3 seasons. Then went to Stuttgart last season on loan, where he played 22 and scored 11. And this year, he's played 8 for Stuttgart and scored 14 goals.
Yeah.
Wow. And he's played for France under 16s, under 9s, under 20s. And then he switched allegiance to Guinea. So he's a full international now for Guinea and has been since 2022.
Well, he's not going to play for France, is he?
I don't know, because I don't know how good he is, do I?
Well, if he hasn't made it at 27, he's not going to make it now, is he?
Possibly.
Don't think so.
What do you reckon on Nico Williams?
I think he'd be brilliant for Liverpool because they play, or Newcastle. No, because they play. No, because we play possession football. They play counter-attacking football.
Could you see him play? Actually, I think he's a good player. I like Nico Williams.
I'm not saying I don't like him. I'm saying that he'd be more. It's like Dembele when he was at Barcelona. Everyone was saying that because we play possession-based football, he's a better counter-attacker and he would be more suited for a team like Liverpool because obviously Newcastle wasn't in the mix. But if you get those teams that are good, that they need speed and they need players in between the lines, like making those runs and that, and they can also feed balls and to the forward.
Yeah.
You're looking at Nico Williams being a better fit for Liverpool, doing the old Sadio Mane kind of stuff. Better for Liverpool, that type of play than for us. But that's just my opinion, because we're more possession based.
Yeah. I was just watching him just to see what he's like. He's very fast, very tricky.
Yeah.
He plays off the left, mainly, but he does go through the middle as well.
No, Nico can play off the right as well.
Yeah, I just saw him playing to the left. That's why the clip that I watched,
Right.
He was on the left, but he was coming from the middle, and then he went on the left. And he was attacking down the left side. But he plays more on the right, does he?
He can play anywhere.
Oh,
Really,
okay.
he can play up. He's
versatile.
versatile.
Barely
That's
say.
good. He plays for Atletico Bilbao. in
Athletic
Spain.
Bilbao, yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
As does his brother.
Yeah, Girona are top of the league, aren't they?
Yep.
Oh, bloody hell, where did that come from?
That comes from scoring more points than the second team.
I know, but it's a bit of a shock that they're top, isn't it?
Well, their manager Mitchell, he was a decent player, but he's
For
got
Real Madrid.
He's got a
what's
good
that?
brain.
Michel from Real Madrid.
No. Mitchell from Real Madrid is like 60 years old. We're talking about Mitchell.
Who did he play for?
He played for Rayo Vallecano.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know who else he played for, but he was a very good technical player, very good in the middle.
Yeah.
So, but he knows his football.
He's coaching them well because they're top of the league.
He's coming up the ranks pretty decently. So
yeah,
he's going to be at a big club soon.
Yeah. So somebody's going to snap him up.
Well, if he keeps on that progression, then he will be.
Oh, no. I know. Right.
So just looking at John Fitzpatrick, I think you're referring to Santiago Jimenez at Feyenoord. It's not Raul Jimenez, Santiago Jimenez.
Yeah.
He's a player that we discussed earlier, John, and we think he's we think he's a top talent. The only thing is that I think his value. I think his value. If we were going to buy him, or if people were going to buy him, we would have got the value for him last summer. I think because he's continued to smash goals in this season, his value would have gone up. I don't think you're going to get him for any less than 50 million now.
I saw a valuation of £53 million.
Is it? I was going to say. I'm saying I haven't seen a value, but I'm just saying at least 50 million. I think you would have got him on the south side of 35 million or below that at the end of last season, based on his one season at Feyenoord last year. But this year, because it's continued, I think it's going to be north of 50 quite comfortably for anyone. And I think the only teams that can really afford him are going to be British clubs, to be honest.
Yeah.
They're going to stump up that kind of money that Feyenoord would want to sell him.
Yeah.
Because is Feyenoord the team that have got Arne Slot as the manager?
Yeah, they are.
Okay, so Slot builds up teams, and Feyenoord are a selling club, aren't they? Because he's built up teams and they sold players out onto other clubs.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, he sold, I think when he went in, I think he sold 4 players and then he built up his own team.
Oh, be back in a minute.
Yeah, I think you're right, Ellie. I think what happened was he ended up getting rid after his first season when they won the league.
Yeah.
I think they won the league or they came close to winning the league. Straight after that, they got rid of 4 players, didn't they?
Yeah.
Ended up getting rid of 4 players. I think one or two might have even come to. Was Luis Sinisterra one of them?
Luis Sinisterra.
Yeah, the one that went to Leeds and now he's playing for Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Wasn't he one of the final players that Arne Slot lost? One of them 4 was Sinisterra.
Did he score for Bournemouth today?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he was one of the players. I think he was one of the 4 that Slot lost.
Yeah. Okay.
I think a couple came from Feyenoord to England, and 2 of them went elsewhere. Who was the Feyenoord? Remember, Ellie? Remember we were being linked with Slot back in the summer.
Yeah.
They were all talking about, we can take his captain.
Oh God.
And I can't remember the guy's name now, but whatever happened to that fella. Whatever happened to that fella. Anyway, I've not heard of him since. I heard of him during the summer, but I've not heard of him since.
Is he still at Feyenoord?
I don't know because I can't remember the name.
He's
But
not.
whoever the player was,
can't
I remember last season everyone was raving, or in the summer they were saying, but if we get Arne Slot, then we'll get the captain.
Can you Google it?
I'll try now.
No, he's not there anymore. He was the Turkish guy in the middle.
That's it. He was a Turkish
Oh,
guy.
right.
No,
Yeah.
he's gone to. Has he not gone to Rome? No. And let me see. Let me just check.
His name was Kukçu.
Kukçu, that's him.
Orkun Kukçu.
Kukçu. Turkish international.
He's gone to Benfica.
Oh,
Benfica,
okay.
Benfica, not Roma, Benfica.
Yeah. Kukçu was
And
a
I
captain.
wanted him for us because
Yeah,
I think he's class.
Yeah, Kukçu was a captain at Feyenoord, and they won the league with him as captain. But he went to Benfica. So when there was all the talk about Slot coming to us in the summer,
Yeah.
Kukçu has gone to Benfica.
We'll have to look out for him in the Champions League game.
Steady as shot. Can I ask, are you Turkish? Because you've got the pronunciation and you've got everything bang on there the way you spell it.
Or
That's exactly like it
spelled
looks.
the proper way. Orkun Kukçu.
Kukçu.
I
Kukçu.
think the C is pronounced as a J. Because
Kokçu.
I think the C is, Ju, Kokçu. Because the C is pronounced as a J in Turkish. Because I've got a Turkish Cypriot friend, and her daughter's is called Selcan, and it's spelt with a C, but it's pronounced a J.
Ah.
Yeah, it is. It's a J. It's Kokçu or Kokçu. That's a bit rude.
Only you're going to say that.
Yeah,
He just copy pasted it, didn't he?
yeah, he probably did.
That's what he's saying in the chat.
Yeah, he's copied and pasted it. But we're after another Turkish boy, aren't we? From Galatasaray. I can't pronounce his name, but he looks quite a tasty. He's a left winger.
Oh yeah, the Turglu or something like that.
Yeah, he looks really decent. I know you have to watch a lot of reels to get the feel of the player, but it's still only reels. It's their best bits, isn't it? But he does look good.
Aktürkoğlu. Yeah, he's got it there, down there.
Mm.
So steady as shot. No, I just copied and pasted it. I loosely knew the name. I was going to say you had it bang on when you put it up there.
Yeah, yeah.
Mitra, I ain't just about a centre back and a top striker for the money. Levy chose to spend. You don't have to listen to fans and supporters that have the footballing brain. Bankers. That's Levy. January, we win.
Lisa, she's a woman after my own heart.
She says it as it is. She says
I
it
know.
as it is.
There it is.
There you go.
Aktürkoğlu. Aktürkoğlu. Well, he'll be with like Aktürkoğlu for Postecoglou.
We got Aktürkoğlu. He is the son of Postecoglou.
My daughter was saying there's a lot of Greek names and Turkish names that end LOU. Yeah? And they cross over, and it's because this is what my daughter researched. A lot of villages in Cyprus and Greece, they were Greek and Turkish because the Greeks and the Turks have been together for centuries, right? So, you know, the names crossed over and they just didn't, they were like families that they took the name Koglu, yeah, like Postecoglou, that's his name, but they spell it with a C. We spell it with a C, they spell it with a K. So he would be Koglu, you see? So he would have been in a Turkish and Greek village.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how it derived. Because they just had the same names.
I'm sure it could be because of the Ottoman Empire as well.
Yeah, it's like back in the day, like the Ottoman Empire and Alexander the Great, they were like clashing, weren't they? There were like periods where the Turks and the Greeks were fighting. But now
he was Macedonian.
It's quite peaceful now, thank God.
So his name is Mohammed Kerem Aktürkoğlu.
Yeah.
He was born in 1998, which makes him 25 years of age.
That's a good age.
He started his career at Başakşehir, Istanbul. He was there for 3 seasons, 2015 to 2018. Never made an appearance.
Oh my God.
And from then, he was then loaned out to Bodrumspor in the third division in Turkey,
Right.
and he played 27 times. He scored 4 goals. He was
Right.
then sold to Karacabey, who are also in the third division, and he played 2 seasons there, playing 34 times, scoring 3 goals. Then he was sold to a club called 24 Erzincanspor, who are in the third league as well, third division,
He's
where he
been
played-
about, hasn't he?
where he played 30 times and scored 20 goals.
Oh, right. He's getting better now.
Yeah, that got him his move to Galatasaray, and to date, he has played 104 games for Galatasaray and scored 28 goals. So 1 every 4 games, just
Not
over.
bad. Not bad for a winger, but
Yeah, he's a left-footed player. He made his international debut for Turkey on the 27th of May 2021. He's now
Yeah.
played for Turkey 24 times and he's got 5 goals.
not bad.
I think they're playing him down the middle though.
Yeah, because Totspurs is coming in saying he's a quality player, left wing or middle would suit Angie's system.
Because he moves the ball quick. I was watching him. He moves the ball very quick and he's very fast. He weaves in and out. He's a very tricky player, but he's playing in the lesser league. But that doesn't mean he can't take the step up, because he's already taken the step up from 3 League 3 teams in Turkey. And Galatasaray spotted him, and they're no slackers. They're always in the Champions League because they normally win their league. It's either them, Fenerbahce or Besiktas who win the league. So they've got. they've got
What
good
about
pedigree.
what's happened to Trabzonspor?
There's this one.
Trabzonspor have dropped off, haven't they?
They used to be them 4. They used to be the 4 Turkish teams, didn't they?
Yeah.
They used to fight
Yeah.
out all the time.
Fenerbahce, Besiktas.
You've got the new ones as well though. You've got the Bezak
Yeah.
Sakir as well, who've been bought or loads of money ploughed into them as well. Because like
Okay.
Arda Turan, I think went there on loan from Barcelona, and they're like the newly rich after the top, the big 3 or 4 with Trabzonspor.
Yeah. What about Ndombele? He's at Galatasaray. They're going to
He's
send
not.
him back.
He's not playing.
I think
so
they're
yesterday-
sending him back, aren't
So
they?
yesterday's results in the Turkish league were Fenerbahce 2, Trabzonspor 3.
Wow.
They're back on track.
Yeah. But
So
not
but-
Ndombele. He's coming back, isn't he? They don't want him.
Oh, Fenerbahce got beaten. Oh, when did they get
Fenerbahce.
beaten? They've lost their first. Fenerbahce were the only unbeaten team in the league. So now in the league, you've got, right, it's a 2-horse race this season. You've got Galatasaray who are top on 31 points. So Galatasaray won and drew 1. Fenerbahce are second with 30 points. They've won 10 and lost 1. So they've lost their first game. So it's 31 and then 30. And then the next team is Adana Demirspor. They have 20 points. So they're
Okay.
11 points off the top and
Oh,
10
that's a
points
lot.
off second already. And then
That's a
you've got
lot.
Trabzonspor with 19. Besiktas have got 19. They're way off the pace.
They're
It's
way
a
off.
2-horse race. It's Galatasaray and Fenerbahce.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to
And,
be fair, Adana Demirspor have got 1 game in hand.
Yeah. They've got 1 game left, yeah.
So they can close the gap to 8
To
points.
7.
behind.
To 7 or
Seven.
Do you know who's in Adana Demirspor's team? Do you know who they've got? They've got
Who they got?
Mario Balotelli in their squad.
Oh my God.
They've got Nani, who used to play at Man United in their squad.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
They've got a certain Benjamin Stambouli.
Oh my God. He used to play
Jesus.
for Spurs.
Yeah. They've
Bloody
also
hell.
got Pape Abu Cisse.
Oh, yeah,
Badu,
Really?
Badu,
Newcastle.
Pape Abu Cisse.
Yeah.
He used to play for Newcastle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got Babu Ndai.
Do you remember Cisse's goal against Chelsea
Yeah.
at Stamford Bridge? What a goal. Flipping
Brilliant
hell.
goal.
That
So
was
they're
a brilliant goal.
the kind of players that they got in their team. Who else have we got in this table? Because now you've thrown me talking about Turkish players. Because the Sixers have gone downhill in my eyes because they had loan players, didn't they? They've currently got, they've still got Jedson Fernandez in Besiktas.
Midfielder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got Eric Bailey, or
Oh,
whatever his
yeah,
name is,
from Man
Man
United.
Man United.
Yeah.
They have Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, who went there on a free.
Jesus.
Yeah, I know that. I saw that.
They've got Rashid Ghezal, who used to be at Southampton, a winger. They've got him. They've got
Okay.
Cenk Tosun,
Yeah, he was at Everton.
yeah, the centre forward. They've got Daniel.
He's always been there. He's like a Besiktas player, you know, bar
before,
Everton.
yeah.
Yeah.
They've got Daniel Almaty.
Okay.
Oh,
who
Leicester.
He played with Leicester, didn't he? Centre half played Leicester.
Yeah, yeah.
They've got Vincent Abubakar, striker.
Jesus. He played for ISIS, didn't he?
Yeah, they've got Arthur Masuaku, who played for West Ham.
Yeah, I remember him.
Gökhan Inler. Weren't he Switzerland
Man,
international?
yes, he used to play for Napoli.
Yeah, Gökhan Inler plays for them.
Jesus.
He's a
Yeah,
midfielder.
38 or something.
I don't know his name.
Ancient players. Yeah. And like you mentioned, right, Sanchez, he could win the title with Galatasaray and not Belly if they keep him. And then if Harry Kane doesn't win his title and we win ours, that should have been so bad for Harry Kane, isn't it?
But then you look, I mean, something must be going on, man, because if you look at Galatasaray squad, right, it shows that there's a big disparity in the Turkish league. This is huge because they've got Mauro Icardi,
Yeah.
Wilfried
Yeah.
Zaha,
Wow.
Hakim Ziyech.
Oh my God.
They got Fernando Muslera,
Yeah.
In goal.
yeah, Tongai Ndombele.
Wow.
They have Tete,
Right back.
Yeah, I know
Right back from
exactly. Yeah.
Shakhtar Donetsk.
Lucas Torreira,
Oh, from Arsenal.
Arsenal midfielder.
Yeah.
Angelino.
Yeah.
Angelino.
Ex-
Yeah, he's from Coristanco.
Is he?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Down the road.
You've got Dries Mertens,
Dries
Napoli.
Mertens.
yeah.
Yeah, from Napoli.
Whoa.
Cedric Bakambu. Did he play for Villarreal?
He did.
So they've got Cedric Bakambu, who's a forward as well. They've
Wow.
got Davidson Sanchez,
Yeah.
Well,
Victor
ex-Ajax.
Nelson,
Yeah. They
Yeah,
want to
we're after.
offload him though, didn't they? We're
So-
after him.
they've got Sergio Oliveira.
Wow.
Porto midfielder.
So you look at the
He's a
Galatasaray
decent
squad.
player, man.
Well, yeah, so you look at the Galatasaray squad, they've bought the league, haven't they?
They're going to win the league. They're going to win it. And
Right,
Sanchez plays.
Nita Art is saying, Ellie, love you. Know your history, Black British, Caribbean,
Yeah.
monster rat, lady in the house.
It's true. I try my best. I love football, right? Anything to do with football, I love it. And I love being on with you guys as well.
Oh, how sweet. We love having you.
Yeah.
Nita Art saying, quick question for us.
Better than going to bed.
Did the score today surprise you?
What,
I don't know. I think
Arsenal score?
she must be referring to Arsenal, surely.
No, it didn't surprise me one bit. I thought Newcastle were going to win. I said 2-1 actually, but it ended up 1-0. So I'm happy. I'm a happy Spurs fan. Yes, Arsenal lost. It's so good. I went into Arsenal fan TV as well to see how miserable they all are.
Oh, you didn't, did you?
I did.
Oh, Ellie, what you like?
I love it because I
Who said
like
it?
seeing
Who said-
Arsenal fans suffer.
Who said it on the show earlier, Chris? Someone said it. Was it Adrian said, I'm going to go on and watch? And I said to him, I'll behave myself. I've got better things to do than go and watch Arsenal fan TV. So Adrian said he was going to do the same thing.
Yeah, and
Well,
Saba did as well. Saba on Football Heritage TV, he said he was going to go on there as well.
So you go on there and watch them all melt down.
Yeah, I just watched them talking a load of bullshit.
Yeah, but melt down is what I'm saying. You watch
Yeah,
them all melt down.
It's a meltdown, yeah. I
And
love
were,
it.
were they talking bullshit? They obviously were, weren't they?
Yeah, they were talking bullshit. Plus, they were saying that, like, they were debating whether Arteta should stay on as well. And, like, half of them said yeah, and half of them said no.
After
Right.
losing one game in the season.
He split the fan base because they've had 4 years of him, and he's only won one FA Cup. But that's quite bad for Arsenal standards. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
It's
Is it bad for Ellie? Is it bad for anybody's standards to win at least a trophy when you're up against fucking Man City?
Yeah, I suppose you're right, but in a way, you've got to try and, because Arsenal are a big club as well. You know, like we haven't won one in bloody 15 years. So what are we talking about?
Can I say good evening? I love Ben Davis. Is a new person I've never seen before on the channel. Hello, I love Ben Davis. He says AFTV is class. It never fails to make me giggle.
Oh, no. That's why I'll go in there to have a laugh. I'll crack up. Do you know what? They get more viewers when they lose than when they win.
Yeah, but that's because them guys go off the rails, man. They go crazy, don't they?
Yeah, they do. When they used to have DT in there, the guy who was put in prison for, I don't know what he was put in prison for, but he did something bad. And he was crazy.
Or in Arsenal.
Yeah. I don't mind some of them. I like Lee. He's nice. Not Lee Gunner, the older Lee who's on there. He's quite well balanced. Yeah, he's quite well balanced and he's quite normal.
Is he the one that's going bald?
Yeah, that
glasses.
Guy. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I've seen it.
He's all right.
I remember when Arsenal played Tottenham, and they had a fan show thing, and it was Tottenham versus Arsenal, obviously. And I think it might have been on Tottenham away. I think it might have been their channel.
It was.
And Adrian went on, and that fella was there, and Adrian was having a go at that fella, and that fella was having a go at Adrian. So it was the two oldies. It was the two oldies having a pop at each other, and everyone was just like, okay, let's get the popcorn out. We're here to watch it.
I know. It's not that guy though. It's not that guy. No, not that guy. This is another guy. This is another guy. If you go on Arsenal Fan TV, you'll see him. His name's I've forgotten his surname, but his first name's Lee. But it's not Lee Gunner because he's like a younger guy. But this guy's, I'd say he's in his 50s. Maybe he's in his mid-50s, I reckon, because he looks about that age. Right, and he's very well balanced, and he's not so biased against us. You know, like he won't slag Spurs off as much as a lot of the other fans do. You know, the younger fans, they'll always banter us, won't they?
So did Sam put comments in there as well or not?
Not that I saw, but I went on quite late.
So how do you know he was there then?
He said he was going to go in there because he always goes in there when they've lost, he said. So if Saba says he's doing something, he's going to do it.
Okay.
But I'll look back when I go tomorrow, when I've got more time, I'll look back on the show from the beginning when they aired it and have a look because I made some comments already.
What's it called? AFTV?
They weren't very good.
AFTV, is that what I call it?
AFTV, yeah. AFTV, or you can go on DR Sports, which is Don Robbie's. Don Robbie's the big guy, isn't he? He's the one who owns it.
Fuck knows. All I know is that when I don't know, it must have been like 2 years ago.
He's very famous. You must have seen him though.
Yeah,
Don Robbie.
There's a black guy, a big
black guy.
Yeah, I saw this a couple of years ago when they were really shit. A couple of years ago, and every time Arsenal lost, you'd have little clippets on Twitter and all that. So it must be that channel, but they used to have little clippets of it.
Yeah, it'll be on with Ty and what's the other guy's name? I've forgotten his name. His wife is a Spurs fan, which is really weird.
See, if I were a queen, I know all about this, and I'm not a queen. I know nothing about these other channels.
Yeah, but it's like really famous Arsenal Fan TV. They even went on Talk Sport, and Simon Jordan was debating Don Robbie, and he was saying to him that your channel's a fraud. Like he called him out. He said you do it for clickbait, and when Arsenal lose, loads of people go on your channel and you earn loads of money. So he was really slagging Arsenal fan TV off. You know,
So,
Simon Jordan, this is. They had
I
a
don't-
big battle on it.
Right, I don't know if Anita Ra's still with us, but I'm going to offer this to Anita Ra and to Chris, right?
Yeah.
Because they didn't get a chance to do the fixtures, or they didn't do them this week. There's still 3 games to go. Do you want to make predictions for the 3 games, because they'll still count because they've not been played yet?
Sure.
Right, Anita Ra, if you're still with us and you want to make a prediction, because you didn't do them on Friday, you've still got 3 games that you can predict on. The first game is Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa.
Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa. 2-2. 2-2.
Okay.
It's not going to be as easy as people think.
Yeah.
I've actually,
sure.
I've actually gone for a home win there.
Do you know
we'll see.
what?
There you go.
Villa have been inconsistent, but when they're hot, they're bloody hot, aren't they?
Tomorrow they're cold. They're freezing tomorrow.
They're freezing tomorrow.
Yeah, because Steve Cooper is a good manager.
Yeah, did you understand what I was saying earlier about when I was talking about Forest? Did it come across the right way what I was saying?
Yeah, it did.
Whereby what I was trying to say is that he was the Greek fella, the owner, the players that came, the players that got promoted with Forest through the playoffs and whatever, they were all discarded, but not by the manager. It was the owner, because the owner went out and bought 35 players in the summer and winter transfer window. So a lot of the players that had got them there didn't end up playing, and he's had to. He kept them up using them players that were brought in that couldn't gel them. Pochettino's got the same thing. He's got 40 players to gel, and he's got a job as tough as people are going to turn around and say that they're a better caliber of player, but he's got the same fucking problem, isn't he?
I know. And he only can put 25 in the squad. So where did the other 15 go that he's got surplus?
But no, the under 20. But when you're under 21, Ellie, you don't count as a 25, do you? You can play, you can be in a squad, but you don't count as a 25. And Chelsea have got loads of youngsters. Madueke doesn't count as a first team player.
Oh, right.
Cole Palmer doesn't count for the squad. These are all under 21.
How old is Cole Palmer?
20. You got Ian Matson as well, who probably doesn't count either. They've got so many players that don't count because they're under the age. So therefore, that's why their squad, they got 25, but if you look at their under 21s, they've got loads of players.
That's why they've got in Pochettino, isn't it? Because he's got young players to nurture.
Right, Nita Ra, I'll ask again, because you didn't do the predictions on Friday, and Chris on the screen didn't do them on Friday, there are still 3 games left that you can predict on if you want to predict. And the first game I've just said, if you want to predict on it, is tomorrow is Nottingham Forest versus Arsenal. And then what I do is I take 3 of your predictions for this week. I did write down my prediction. Dyer, I say.
He means the score predictions.
The Arse are braggers, not a problem. We ain't won nothing for a long time. But history will always say we are the true North London club. Don't be supported if you don't know.
Yes.
TTWD.
Do you know Arsenal, right? They used to be called Dial Square, right? That was their first name, Dial Square, and they were in Woolwich in South London, right? And then they came. We gave them our ground for 2 years during the war, and they put blue in their badge because we helped them. And then they did the dirty on us when there was promotion in those days. If you didn't have to finish in the top 3 to get promotion, and I think they finished. I'm not sure where they finished, but I think we finished in the top 3, and then they lobbied Parliament to get the ground to build their ground and whatever, and then they lobbied the league, the football league, to get promoted over us, and they said they did it with bribery. That's what the Spurs website says, but I don't know what the Arsenal one says. But they bribed them to get them up in the league, and we stayed down and they went up. So that was, if you ask Adrian Schrocker, he knows more about it than me. We'll have to ask him when he comes on that guest corner to talk about it. 'Cause
Well,
this is
not
more
guest corner when
knowledgeable.
he does the history part. You mean?
I'm going to read more about it, so I'll learn more about it. But I know they did the dirty on us.
And you got I love Ben Davies saying same old Arsenal always cheating. Right, Nita R's
Yeah.
not coming with the results, so I'll go on to the next game. The next game is Luton Town Liverpool.
4-0 to Liverpool.
Yeah. Liverpool going to batter them.
4-0 to Liverpool. Okay, interesting. And then the last game obviously is Tottenham versus Chelsea.
That's at the Bridge.
Tottenham.
No, is that
versus
what
Chelsea.
are they? Is that
Wow,
Abraham?
is it a-
Yeah, it's
Yeah, is
Tottenham
that
versus
Abraham?
Chelsea. Yeah, Tottenham.
Well,
versus
at home.
I do apologise. 4-1.
4-1 to
Home.
Spurs. Oh, nice result. We'll batter them.
Right, so just for tomorrow, I will tell you. At the moment, the predictions that we've got is you have. So Nottingham Forest the first team and Aston Villa away team. So Jose has gone. I love Ben Davis is saying 3-0. Is that Tottenham versus Chelsea? I love Ben Davis. So Jose's gone 2-0. Colin has gone 1-3. Wayne Bonner's gone 0-4. Chris has gone 2-all. Tot Spurs has gone 0-3. Jim has gone 1-4. Bobby K has gone 0-3. Ellie has gone 0-2. Chris Peters has gone 1-2. Dry Roasted Peanuts gone 1-all. Beer Talk has gone 0-2. David the Irish Hotspur has gone 2-1. Then you've got Brian Daigle's gone 2-all. Sheree's gone 2-3. Who's News has gone 2-all. Carl Simpson's gone 1-3. And Adrian Shoker's gone 2-all.
What game was that for?
That's not in Forest Aston Villa.
Oh, yeah.
So I have Forest winning 2-0 tomorrow.
Yeah, I put the other way round, 2-0
Yeah.
to Villa.
Yeah,
I
you've
think
gone the other
Villa
way.
are playing really well.
Yeah.
It might be a draw though, because
I think Forest, if Awomyi plays tomorrow, I think Forest, the front
He's
three.
He's fit.
If they play Morgan Gibbs White, Elanga, and Awimni, I think they'll cause them problems.
Yeah.
I do. At home, Forest are totally different. They're so different away at home to what they are away.
Yeah.
So I reckon they could pull out a result against Villa, to be honest.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what I've gone for. With regards Luton Town versus Liverpool, I've gone 1-1.
Have you?
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Colin has gone 1-3, so he's gone 3-1 to Liverpool. Wayne Bonner has gone 6-0 to Liverpool.
Oh my God.
Chris has gone 4-0 to Liverpool. Jim's gone 4-0 to Liverpool. Bobby K's gone 3-0 to Liverpool. Ellie's gone 4-0 to Liverpool. Chris Peters has gone 3-0 to Liverpool. Dry Roasted has gone 4-0 to Liverpool. Beer Talk has gone 2-1 to Liverpool. Dave Harris has gone 4-0 to Liverpool. Brian Daigle's gone 1-all.
Oh God.
Sheree's gone 4-0 Liverpool. Who's News has gone 3-0 Liverpool. Carl Simpson's gone 5-1 Liverpool. And Adrian Shoke has gone 2-all.
I think Liverpool going to thrash them. Really will.
Yeah. Not after they get a player sent off. I think they'll be, yeah. Do you know what I said about Luton? I said Luton's team, Ellie, when they played against us, I felt Luton's 3 forwards were the quickest forwards we've played against all season. I thought they ran us ragged at times. I thought they were so quick. And if we didn't have Van der Ven, they would have got behind us many an occasion. But Van der Ven is just a blanket, isn't he?
But like they never finished their dinner either.
No.
Like they missed so many chances. At least 3 really good ones, you know. And then we blocked quite a lot of them as well.
They never finished their dinner, she says. Oh my God.
They didn't.
They
They
don't
were
finish
doing
their
the
dinner.
Richarlison.
we're getting we're getting the professional comments now. They can't finish their dinner.
I've just searched who are Luton Town's front three forwards, and it's come up. I'm sorry, but I couldn't find any information about that. However, I can tell you that Luton Town is a professional football club based in Luton, Bedfordshire.
I'll tell you in a minute. Right. So for the Tottenham game, I've gone 3-0 to Tottenham. Colin's gone 3-2 to Tottenham. Wayne Bonner's gone 5-1. Chris, you've gone 4-1. Tot Spurs has gone 2-1. Jim's gone 5-0.
Wow.
Bobby K must have gone. I've got Bobby K down as 0-2. It must have been
on the brandy.
It's 2-0. It's 2-0. Ellie's gone 3-1. Chris Peters has gone 3-1. Dry Roasted has gone 2-0. Beer Talk's gone 3-1. Dave Harris has gone 4-0. Brian's gone 3-0. Sheree's gone 3-1. Who's News has gone 5-0. Carl Simpson 3-1. Adrian Stroker 4-1.
Do you know when we beat Arsenal 3-0, right? I was at that game and I knew as soon as I got into the ground, right, I knew we were going to win from the atmosphere of the fans. The fans really do help the team. And that was under Conte, right? This time we're under Ange, right? So the atmosphere is going to be so hostile against Chelsea. They won't be able to play. We'll easily score 3 goals. We might even score 4, like Chris said.
Yeah, but what I was going to say to you, Ellie, right, is unlike me and Chris, right, I've not been to the new stadium. Have you, Chris? I don't think you have either, have you?
It's amazing.
Chris, you haven't been, have you, to the new stadium for a game?
No, sorry, no.
Okay, right. So Ellie, you've been to the stadium. You've probably been to see Category A, B, C, D games, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And what I find, and you might correct me if I'm wrong here, because you go to you've been at the matches, but when you hear it on telly, right, it seems that we're fucking a graveyard at times. You can't hear no singing going on. You can't hear next to nothing. However, that Arsenal game that you're referring to when we won 3-0 and Arsenal had a defender sent off for fouling Son, that game for definite, I heard Tottenham singing. It's the only time that I can say that Tottenham stood out in hearing the fans singing for the whole game compared to any other game I've ever heard on TV with them.
What I've noticed, right, the TV companies, they mute the crowd sometimes, right? Because against Sheffield United, the atmosphere was electric, right? And we were like urging the team on because we were losing 1-0. Weren't we?
Right
up to the death of the game, right? And it was like we sucked the ball in. Like Richarlison came on, got that header, and then he set up Kulu for the winner. And the whole stadium went crazy ass. It was like mayhem, right? And then at the end, right, it was fantastic. It was even better than the Arsenal game when we were celebrating against Arsenal. It was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant.
To me, I think
it was so good. It was like, and then in the concourse, the trumpeter came because we got a trumpeter now, right? And he went, "Oh, when the Spurs go marching, do 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 do." Then the drummer comes along, and it's like, it's amazing. The atmosphere is, and they all bang on the sides and they cheer. It's like, it's amazing. You guys have to come to the stadium. You have to come.
But the thing is, though, right, is I remember before the Liverpool game, we did some streams or whatever. It might have been on this channel as well that we were doing the streaming. And I turned around and I said for the Liverpool game, I said the most important player that we're going to have against Liverpool is going to be the fans, the 12th man. We're going to really need them to stoke up and to really fire the team up because Liverpool are a decent outfit. I don't think. Well, on telly, it didn't appear that the fans were stoking Tottenham up.
They don't really pick it up a lot, but when you're in the stadium, you can hear, especially where I stand in 252. They're crazy nutters in where I stand. I've actually got 2 broken feet from being in there. And I've got my shoulder injured. You know Johnson scored and it was disallowed against Sheffield
Yeah.
United, I got battered that game. I came out of my area. I was two from the front because 252 is to the right of the goal. It's about, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 meters away from the right of the goal, right? And I came out of my area, and then all these young boys came down and they crushed me on the barrier. And honestly, my shoulder was killing me for weeks. It's just about recovered now from that game.
And you're going on Monday?
I'm going on Monday, yeah. I'm going to go to the Chelsea game.
Back in the
I'm
252 pen?
252 again. But this time, honestly, boys, this time I'm just going to stay in my area. I'm not going out because they crush you when you score because it's all standing there. You've got the seats, obviously, but everybody stands because it's the standing area. And I like it. I like standing because that. I don't think you should sit down at a football match. It's not the same.
No, it's not.
You got to stand, man. You got to stand and jump up and down. You know.
You got to stand and get beaten up in a 252 pen.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're going to a UFC. You're going to a UFC fight and you've got little octagons everywhere.
What I do as well, I'm bigging up Højbjerg all the time in there. So everybody where I stand, they actually love Højbjerg now because I'm his PR lady.
But you should take a flag.
Look at that, because some people don't look. Some people don't watch a player. You know, when you like a player, you watch him, don't you?
Yeah.
Right? But some people don't watch him, and they'll just remember one bad pass that he did. You know, but don't worry, I'm going to work on other sections now. I'm going to get everybody loving him so he doesn't leave.
Move over to 253.
Yeah. Or come back to 251.
You know what? He's a very useful player to have, and he never lets us down. When does Højbjerg really let the team down? He doesn't. He was really good with Bentancur as well. Bloody Conte, idiot. He played. Sorry to call Conte an idiot, but he played him in a two-man midfield, and they got exposed a lot. And you didn't see the best of them both together. But what you did see is them working as a good combination together. So if we lose Basuma, like to injury, at least you've got Bentancur and Højbjerg to come in. He's better than Skip. He is better than Skip. He's not the perfect footballer, I know that. But I like him because I like hard-working players.
I last season. Now that you mentioned it, Ellie, Jesus, that two-man midfield was like playing with 9 men.
I know, it wasn't fair, was it, on those two boys? And we didn't play inverted wingers either, so we never got help from them.
Conte doesn't do that.
It's really silly system. It did when you've got Bentancur, you want to play a 3-man midfield, right? So he can do his stuff. Because he's very, very skillful, Bentancur. He's got a bigger skill set than all of our midfielders.
So can I just say, Nita, I've locked your scores in for tomorrow. So you and Chris have both got 3 predictions that you made this week.
What did she say?
Thank you.
She's got
4-0 to Liverpool and 2-1 to
Tottenham.
Yes.
So therefore, we've got predictions from all of you. So the league's now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the league's now got 1. So there's now 24 people in the league.
I love Nita. Do you see what Nita's written there? 2-1 Chelsea. Who are you? She's funny, man.
Yeah. So Monday. Yeah, I totally agree, Eddie. So people, however much we know and however much we've played football and stuff like that. All we can see is an angle on the television that shows us the game at that angle. We can't see what's happening behind, to the side, or anything. You can only see where the cameras are catching at the ball. But when you're at the stadium, you can see the whole game. You can see it for what it is.
Yeah, so, you can see what players are running off the ball, who are creating spaces. You know, you don't see that on telly. You just see the man on the ball, and then you see him pass it to the next player, don't you?
Yeah. So you got, sorry, I've got I Love Ben Davies saying only game at the new stadium for me was 2019, 3-1 versus Villa, and Dembele scored the winner. Only good game he's had. First game at Wembley, we battered Stoke 5-1. Ben and Son bossed it on the left. Unbelievable.
Yeah, they did.
Fair play.
Ben Davies has had good games. Like that first season under Conte, he played really, really well, Ben Davies.
But the thing is, I mean, I don't want to. I don't want to sound awkward because this person says I love Ben Davies. But watching the last game that Tottenham played, it's quite clear that he does not fit an Ange Postecoglou defensive system. He's not quick enough, and he doesn't fit. So to me, I think it's tough. It is tough because I've always said that Ben Davies is a good squad player, and he's been rated by every manager. So, and they get paid the big bucks for making decisions. But I think he got truly found out in the Fulham game. Crystal Palace game. Ayew was roasting him for fun. Ayew was saying, "Do you want me to cook your marshmallows anymore for you?" Because he really, really did roast him. He came off, and Van de Ven had to save him on about 3 occasions. I mean, I remember on at least 2 occasions, Ben Davies was like at least 2 yards in front of the player going back for the ball, and the guy overtook him.
What it is, right? Udogie, right? He can play that system because he's got the speed and he's got the passing ability, whereas Ben Davies is quite limited in his speed, and his passing is not all that great either. And he doesn't know the system, and he got found out. You're right. But you know what? In a conventional 4-4-2, he can work. Yeah, he can work in that system. But we're not. That's ancient style football.
There's only one problem with that, Ellie.
Yeah,
we don't play a flat 4-4-2.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's horses for courses. That's why they say Højbjerg can't play his system, right? Because
I think he can. He's just. People might look at him and think that he looks like a tree stump, and that he's not flexible or versatile enough. And when you've got Bissouma in the middle, that he's doing a brilliant job, and you compare it to Højbjerg, you're thinking, Jesus,
I know.
I don't even want to see him on the bench.
Bissouma's like much better. Everybody can see that, right? He's got more skill set. He's faster. He drives forward with the ball. Whereas Højbjerg, he's more methodical. He's more of I'll pick out a pass midfielder, or I'll hold the ball and I'll pass it simple.
Højbjerg is necessary as well. Oh dear. Oh, excuse me.
Get it out.
Like last week, for example, against Palace, when the game is going against you, you need to bolster the midfield because you're losing the game in midfield.
Yeah.
You need to bring on players like that are going to destruct their game. When you've lost the control of the game, you need to get it back a bit. You bring players like Højbjerg on to destruct that, to mix it up a bit. But you wouldn't have him
upper hand, weren't they? They were
that's the point.
They were getting forward and getting shots off goal, right? So when we brought on Højbjerg and Skip, it was a little bit better. We held the ball a lot more. We controlled the midfield a little bit better, But even he's going to be used like that now, Højbjerg. But I hope he does stay. I hope he stays, because I think we've got a very, very good chance. If we strengthen as well in January, I think we've got a very good chance of being right up there to the end. Whether we win it, that's another question.
You think stay until the end of the season?
Yeah, I hope he stays to the end of the season, and then if we win the league, for example, I'm sure he'll want to stay, because it'd be lovely to defend your title as well, even if he's off the bench, because he'll get half an hour here, half an hour there. He will.
That's up to his desire to want to be a bench warmer.
Yeah, I know, because it depends on how he sees himself. because he's 28 now. He's not a young man anymore. He's like
Well, I mean,
he's at his peak of his football career, right? This is where you want to be.
If he can be important and if he can be in the starting 11 of a mid-table Italian team or a mid to top table Italian or a German or a whatever, a Roma, because Mourinho was a fan of him. So if he wants to go to Rome, for example, there's no point in being a bench warmer at Spurs.
I know what you mean, but I think if we win the league, right, he might have his head turned as well. He might say, well, I'll stay here because he's going to be 29 next year, and then he's only got a couple of more years really at the top. So it's up to him and his
I don't know. He's a fella that's kept himself quite trim and fit. He's a fella that doesn't often get injured.
No.
So, in all honesty, if he carries on in that vein, he's got more than a couple of years left in him after this year.
I think maybe 33, 34.
I reckon he's got more. I reckon he's got more. If he carries on with what he's got more. I'm not necessarily going to say in the Premier League, but he's definitely got more. He could end up going to play in Italy till he's 40 because he's just, a lot less taxing on the body and that. There's other places that you can go and continue playing your career.
You can go Besiktas.
He keeps himself fit. He's a very fit footballer. That's one good thing about Højbjerg. He's a true professional.
So Ben Davies has come in on what we were saying earlier. He's got the best attitude, not an Ange style player. Massive relief to have Destiny. Starting Emerson versus Chelsea most likely, which will work. Good option off the bench though. And then Nita Raz come in and said, we ain't seen Hill yet. I hope for my beloved Spurs, in my opinion, Ange's still tinkering with the team. We are on a rebuild for Tottenham Hotspurs.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We said that. I think you said that on the stream on the one before, Jose. You said that he's only playing with what he's got, and then
that's right. He can only play. He's using what he's got, isn't he, Chris? He's using the squad that he's got, and he's picking the players with what he's got at the moment. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to pull no punches. When I've seen these other teams and that, his players. The players that he had in the second season at Celtic when he won the treble before he came to us last season, they all played his system. They all played the way he wanted to play. They were all his players. All the whole squad formed the whole of that squad.
And they were all firing on full cylinders. They were pumping.
Yeah.
And these aren't.
Yeah, so therefore, Ange just got to pick from what he's got at the moment. And from what he's got and shuffling the pack as he has been, well, we've done really well. And long may it continue. At the end of the day, we've had a really good 10 games, and we should all be proud. We should all be happy of where we are and how we're doing. And just imagine when he gets what he needs and what he wants. I mean, I think teams. I mean, I don't know what do you two think? I think teams are not fancying playing against Tottenham at the moment.
No, because our movement is really good off the ball. A lot of people don't take that into consideration, but we're always moving around the pitch, and we're very clever with this inverted system. Right? I saw Jamie Carragher highlighting it, how we play. It's very clever, and it creates more people in midfield. We sort of saturate midfield when we're on the ball, and when we're off the ball, we drop deep and we help the defenders as well. So we're not leaving ourselves exposed like people think we do. All right, sometimes we do get caught out because we're all out attack, and sometimes the players forget that they should be holding as well. Sometimes they go forward a bit too much, right? But I like the movement off the ball. It's fabulous. And the way we work hard for one another on either side, with Udogie and Van de Ven forging a fantastic partnership. And then you've got Romero and Porro on the other side. All right, Porro's coming into a little bit of stick lately because of the Palace game. But other than that, he's been quite solid, what I've seen, especially against Liverpool. We had a very, very good game against Liverpool.
Yeah. What do you reckon, Chris?
What was the question again?
I said, do you think that people don't fancy playing against Tottenham?
Oh, yeah, sorry, that's right, yeah. I totally agree. But we can be picked off. We just have to be very, very careful that we don't do a Fulham or we don't do a Palace, because, you know, for those last 20 minutes or so last week, we could have complicated our life stupidly by lowering this, you know.
Yeah.
And the Fulham game, right? It's a one-off, whatever. It's a cup game. Things can go, you know, downhill pretty quickly. We weren't on our best, but it just goes to show that if you get kicked in the ribs quickly during the season, you can correct the mistakes. You know where you go wrong, so you can rectify it. And it's best to do it that way than not at the end of the season where you're, you know, fighting for trophies and you lose out that way. So I'd rather it be that way than, you know, the big scares come later on. But I think that, yeah, teams don't want to face us because they've got, no, sorry, not they, that we've got Ange on the bench. He's a different breed of character. He's a different type of manager. And what we do is, although a lot of people say that it's very Man City, it's not. We'd only hope to be like Man City. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But what we do, where we've come from to what we are, totally different beast. And that is what I think keeps teams guessing. Yeah, we ping the ball around a lot, but we don't have to ping it around to score. We don't have to ping it around to create. But I think it's dodgy playing against us. It's not the same old Spurs as before, which is the conundrum that teams have playing against us.
Do you remember, Chris, when we were streaming on our own channels before the season started, and we were both saying in a roundabout way that this ain't going to be the same shitfest, ballfest that we've had for the last 4 years. People are going to have to come out and work us out. And we said that whatever happens, we're going to play front foot football and we're going to play attacking football and we'll be along for the ride. And we said that pre-season in a roundabout way. You and I both said it. And it's exactly happened. And I don't think you and I ever subscribed. And Eddie, you would have been on our shows as well when we on our own channels back then, where we turned around. And I don't think any of us said at the time, yeah, we're going to get pumped in a fair few games, 4 or 5-0. It'll either be a cricket score one way or a cricket score the other. Do you know what I mean? It'll be a rugby score type thing. We'll end up losing like 7-6 and stuff. People saying these things, and we never subscribed to any of that. And what we didn't subscribe to has been proven to be reality now, hasn't it? You know, over 10 games.
It sure has. We've still got the videos to prove it.
Yeah,
They're still there.
yeah.
I think it's just my way of, and that's what I said before. I had, you know, on the when I jumped on. I think you're analysing it. I'm not sure what your comment was, Jose. That I had faith in, or I had, you know, trust in Ange. I didn't have trust in the board, or, you know, the backing. But total 180. I don't know what you said about that, but
I was being asked. No, I was being asked a question, and as I was answering the question, you made a comment, and I had to read your comment 3 times to understand what you had written. And I think that what you were trying to say at the end of the day is that you had trust in Ange, but you don't have trust in the board backing him.
Yeah, at the beginning of the season.
Oh, okay. But now that you've done a 180,
so it's been a total 180 because we've had the backing. Ange has proven to me, at least, because I backed him blindly, although not blindly, because we've seen in other teams what he's capable of doing. And it's not just on the pitch, it's the mental side of things as well. It's the psychological way that he gets to people, which is extremely important as well. And I knew that he would do something or other. And it wasn't going to be as bad as last season or the season before or the years before. So did I expect it to be as good as this? No, but it was definitely going to be better than the last years of suffering. And he's just proven me right, that, you know, he's doing the job, that the club's backing him or backed him, and I'm sure that they will still continue to back him because they're seeing what he's capable of doing.
Your
What's that?
comments, this one, mate, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Right, okay.
Is it-
And then from that, from that, I had
Yeah.
to read it, and I was reading it out, and then Totspurs then said this to you. That's my worry, Chris. And
yeah, I
then
saw that.
and then Totspurs put down. He means Levy backing him. So
Yeah.
I've gone away understanding from what Totspurs was saying that you were saying that you still don't think Levy's going to back him. That's
No,
what
at
I
the beginning of the
thought.
season, at the
Okay,
beginning of the
fine.
season, yeah, my worry was that he wasn't going to get backed
Yeah.
because we've had so many years of of negativity or whatever, or bad signings, or but I think that now the tide has turned, and that if Daniel has to go out and spend 60 million on Jimenez, I think that he's going to get his money's worth because he trusts the manager, whilst before he half-heartedly trusted Conte, he half-heartedly trusted Mourinho. I don't know why, but that's just the feeling I get from it.
Yeah.
And why am I going to pump 60 million into a player for you when you're giving on the back burners, in where people, when people can't see what's going on, you're giving me shit, you're giving the players shit, you're giving the whole staff shit. Why am I going to invest in you when I don't even know you're going to be here in 6 months? Because I could get fed up with you. I'll pay you 15 million and get lost.
Yeah.
But with this guy, you know that he's 100% worker. You know that he's kosher, and I'm going to invest in you. It's a totally different ball game.
Yeah.
That's
You got sorry, before you come in, you've got 3 comments now come in.
Sure.
So Nita are saying Højbjerg is a professional. He reminds me of Dennis Irwin.
He's a bit slower than Dennis Irwin.
On the back of what you're talking about at the moment, Totspurs has come back and saying we will see if Levy brings in the players as Ange wants early. I don't think he will, in my opinion. And then Nita
Anything can happen, but let's just see.
Nita Ross coming in. Man City is a world-class manager who bought them out of a forest. Right now, they are the team to beat because their owners has billions.
I don't agree.
Yeah, I know you're going to say, but let's bring Ellie.
Well,
Ellie, you were
They
going to
really
comment.
haven't spent that much more than any other club, really. They haven't spent that much more. I think we're the 3rd highest spender, the last time I looked. So we're up there with the high spenders, but it's not how much you spend, it's the plan that you have in place, and the backroom staff and the coaching. And like Pep Guardiola, he is from massive stock. He came from Barcelona, the tiki-taki style. He knows football inside out. So when he came to Man City, the first year, all right, he didn't do as good as he wanted, but the second year, the third, the fourth, he's been proving it, right? So he doesn't need billions of pounds spent. He knows which player he identifies. Like this year, I think they're not the top spenders this year either. But regardless, he molds players into his style of football, and his style of football is the winning style of football, and it's so attractive to watch. Like he bought Haaland and he's bought Grealish. He's lost so many players. He's lost Mahrez. He's lost Gundogan. He managed to keep Bernardo Silva, thank God, because if he lost him as well, he's a very, very good player. But all their players, they know his system inside out, and they all play for him, even though he's a very strong disciplinarian as well. We've seen that with stories that have come out from, what's his name, Aguero's father. He didn't really like him a lot. But I think that's because he expects the best. And if you're not producing the best, he's going to tell you. He's going to give it to you, right? And that's what a good manager. Do you think Postecoglou won't do that? Of course he will. If he sees players slacking, because he's watching, you see him on the training ground. He's watching all the time, isn't he? He's got evil eye on people because he's seeing who's going to cut the mustard for him when the hard graft comes, when the winter sets in as well. This is harder on footballers.
just to throw a bit of spanner in the works, right? I've just seen this on Twitter. Paul Merson says he would be shocked if Tottenham Hotspur beat Chelsea on Monday.
I saw that.
Nicholas Jackson is getting a bit of stick at the moment, but he's quick and a threat on the counter. Then you've got Raheem Sterling on the wing. He was brilliant against Arsenal, and if he can reach that level again, he'll cause Spurs problems on the break. Cole Palmer brings in the goal, and he was different class in the first night against Brentford. Chelsea will be able to give this game a real go. I'd be shocked if Chelsea lost at Spurs. Is the guy back on the crack pipe?
What do you mean back on it?
The thing is, right, what he said, those 3 players that he's mentioned can hurt any team, right? But we've got more players to hurt them than they've got to hurt us, right? And we're in form, they're up and down. So if I'm a betting woman, right, or if I was a betting man, right, I would put my money on Spurs. And we're at home, right? And then we've got the whole Pochettino thing that's going to inspire Spurs even more to win. I think that is the catalyst for us to win, because the crowd are going to be right behind Spurs, because a lot of them will be booing Pochettino, but a lot of them will be clapping him as well. But once that whistle goes, there's no clapping of Pochettino, I'm telling you. There's going to be hell in that ground. And like, we hate Chelsea anyway, right? So it's going to be like a cauldron of fire. Yeah, and I think our players are up to it.
Yeah, I totally agree.
To hurt someone on the counter attack, you need to get the ball. So,
Yeah.
and that's going to be key.
Yeah.
So whether they're going to have the ball or not is there to be seen.
Yeah.
Can they hurt us? Anyone can hurt anyone, and there's many ways of doing it, but they have to get the ball off us first. So
yeah, that's it. The Zuma doesn't give up the ball very easily. Sarri's in between, but he's a fighter. If he loses the ball, he will fight for it back. That's one good thing about Sarr, because a lot of people are criticising him because he loses the ball. He doesn't lose the ball a lot, but I think it's highlighted more with him because he's a younger player and he's finding his feet in the team. But I honestly think we've got too much for them. We do. I think we've got too much for them.
Of course we have.
But it's just interesting. As I said, we talked about it earlier. Although Ellie was in between watching
Strictly Dancing.
My brother.
I don't know if she's watching Strictly or watching the Arsenal game, but she was doing something at the time.
Yeah, I was watching the Arsenal game with my brother.
Right. So what we were saying, Ellie, is where's the game won and lost is what we discussed earlier on. Did you get that part of the show?
Yeah, I got that, and I was going to comment, but I was so engrossed in the match. So I think the game's going to be won in midfield, because they've got a very good midfield as well, but I think we've got more skill in our midfield and we're quicker. Like Basuma, he drives forward. I know Cole Palmer, but he's relatively new to this league. And I just think our experience in midfield and Madders, what a player. He's playing out.
Palmer don't play in the middle, Els. He plays in the front three.
Does he play just like a number 10? Like
he plays in they play Sterling, Jackson, and Palmer up front. The three that the three they got playing in midfield are Caicedo, Fernandez, and Gallagher.
Oh, okay. So he plays more like a number 10, maybe.
Cole Palmer plays on the
right.
On the right, he's left-footed, but plays on the right.
He's not a striker, though, is he? He's more of a creator. No. He's more of a creative player, like Maddison.
They're playing him like we play Kulu. Is the way they're playing.
Yeah, what you mean. Yeah. When I saw him against Arsenal, he was in the middle more than on the wing.
He was cutting in.
Yeah.
Because he was playing inverted. He was cutting into the middle.
Yeah, he was playing inverted. Yeah. Anyway, we've got Madders and Basuma and Sarr. I think we've got we're going to win it in that position. And also, I think our defence is better than theirs this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends. Reece James has just come back, but they said that he might not be fit again.
Yeah, but to me, like I said earlier, the way that I described it earlier, right? You pick up a pack of cards, right? Imagine you've got them in your hand and you just go like that. You've never played 52 card pickup and just let the cards go. Right. So
I have played that game.
Yeah. So with Chelsea, it's 52 card pickup. You throw all the cards up in the air and then you go down, go on your knees, scatter, and the first 11 cards you pick up, that's your team. That's your team for the day. And that's what it is at Chelsea.
Is that Nkunku fit now?
No.
He's not fit yet. Because I saw some people saying that he's going to be fit, but last week they said he's either 3 or 4 weeks away from fitness.
He won't play. Well, mind you, Bentancur, and I was saying that Bentancur's coming back earlier than what he said, and that's only because of the reports I've been getting told. But otherwise, Nkunku is out till January. Oh, excuse me, Nkunku is out till January, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah. Well, Bentancur hired a personal fitness trainer to get him up to speed. Yeah, so he's
hopefully
back.
Hopefully he stays fit, because rushing these things is a bad idea.
It's true.
Especially that particular injury that he's had.
My son.
Yeah, I get you.
My son was operated on yesterday, and he came out of hospital yesterday. They did it all in the day.
Did he have an ACL injury?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So they've stapled, or he called it something else, but it's like a staple type thing. They stapled his meniscus to his knee, and then that staple will evaporate, and the meniscus will continue to grow as per normal.
Yeah.
And with the ACL, because there was no tear in the meniscus wasn't split, so they've done that. But then his ACL, they've cut out. Where have they cut out from? They've cut out tissue from his cartilage. Cut out tissue from a cartilage, and I can't remember whether it's in what part of the leg, but they've cut some tissue out that they said was really strong, and they've put that in the ACL area to make it a new ACL type thing. And he said he's got this big, humongous brace that he's wearing right down the whole of his leg, but it's huge, it's massive. And he said that they reckon that it's going to be, and he's not a professional footballer, but they reckon it'll be a year before he feels normality.
Right.
What they've told him.
It's the worst thing you can have as a footballer.
I know. Well, I saw Bentancur in training, and he scored a worldie goal. Did you see that one? Bloody hell!
I didn't.
Oh my God, it was so brilliant, Chris. I've got to describe it to you boys, right? So they were all practicing shooting, and like Hill was doing left foot, right foot, bang in the top bins, and then Bentancur came, right? And the ball came to him, and within he controlled it in one touch, and then whoop, right into the top right-hand corner. It was fantastic. I'm going to send you the clip, both of you.
Yeah, do so.
See,
and they all jumped on him. They all jumped on him, the players, because they were so happy.
Oh, they don't bloody injure him again.
No.
If we can get 3/4 of the Bentancur we had last season, we'll be all right with him. I felt it's really good to see him on the pitch in the last game. It was good to see him.
Yeah.
I felt that he was playing well within himself. He didn't overstretch. He didn't overrun with things. His passing weren't as crisp as what it was when he was fully fit, and that's expected because he's been out for so long. But just to see him in and around the place, it's got to be a positive for him. It's got to be positive for the players because the players will love him. So it's got to be a positive for his teammates, and obviously for us fans, it's got to be a positive as well that he's back. And long may it continue, regardless of who the player is. If we've had players out injured, we just wish them all the best and hope they have speedy recoveries and come back. Because at the end of the day, it's their careers, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we got jobs to do in our real lives. That's their job in real life to do. So, and the only way you can do your job and get paid for doing your job is if you're playing. And no one wants to be on the injury table. So long may it continue that we get loads of our players back.
Yeah.
What is what's Ndombele's job? What's his day job?
But he doesn't play for us at the moment, does he? So I don't care about it.
But I'm just.
His job is to get burgers ordered to the hotel.
Right.
That's his job.
That's good.
So not to make them flip them, then, Nelly.
Yeah, he flips
He's a
them.
flipper.
Puts a bit of
flipper
cheese
and an
in
eater.
there. Bit of cheese and some onion and some gherkins.
Ellie's on fire. Look at her. God. Shit.
You know what? I'll tell you a funny story about Ndombele. Right, so it was the Spurs. I think we were playing Leeds United. Yeah, Spurs Leeds United. Right. I was in the cafe. There was a Jamaican cafe, and they do jerk chicken. And I was sitting there, and I was talking to some friends of mine. We were just eating our jerk chicken, and then in walks Ndombele. And he ordered so much food. It was amazing. The lady goes, he always orders a lot of food and then he takes it away. But
Jesus.
at least it's chicken, but it is fried chicken. So it's not like a proper footballer's meal. And he had like rice and peas. He took some cake as well. They do this like coconut cake with banana, right?
Mhm.
The Jamaican people. And he ordered 2 big slabs of it.
Nothing wrong with a bit of coconut and nothing wrong with a bit of a banana, mate.
No,
Sure.
but when you're a professional footballer, you shouldn't be eating that stuff.
What, bananas?
No, like the cake. It's a massive cake.
Yeah,
And it's a
It's
heavy cake.
but it's got fruit in it. It's got bananas and coconut. It's good, yeah.
It's not. Yeah, I suppose so.
That's
but
what he said anyway.
It's got a lot of sugar in it as well.
Yeah. But then burgers are full of protein.
It's all the other stuff. The cheese, the bread, the pickles, the onions. It's all that stuff. And then it's greasy as well, isn't it? It's not healthy.
Oh, I don't know.
They usually have chicken, don't they, or fish, footballers before the game.
Well, I was going to say, what's the difference between
pasta.
having chicken and rice as opposed to having chicken with pasta? Still the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah, chicken.
Carbs.
The footballers do have carbs, don't they?
Yeah, but
Because they need the energy.
rice and pasta are carbs. So what's the
Yeah, I
difference between
know.
having rice with chicken or having pasta with chicken? Because
Yeah.
back in the day,
Amount of carbs.
yeah, but when all the supposed foreign managers came over to this country with the new dietary regimes and stuff like that, the big one on the list for footballers was to eat. You can't have bacon and eggs and sausages anymore and all that, but you can have chicken and pasta now. So I don't see no difference between chicken and rice and chicken and pasta. I suppose, yeah, you're quite right, Ellie.
Rice is all right.
Being
It's
fried,
chicken, isn't it? It's
yeah,
fried
being
chicken.
fried, yeah, being fried is probably, and if you have fried rice as well, that's probably the difference.
You know whose fault that was? That was Wenger's fault, wasn't it?
Yeah, he
Bringing all his
cut
new
out
cuisine
all the
over.
sauces as well, didn't he? Even Conte, he said to the players that they're not allowed to have any sauces.
Yeah, no tomato ketchup and no mayonnaise.
No,
But then,
no tomato ketchup.
but then also as well, when the Italians went to Chelsea in the late 90s, they bought a strict regime as well. So when you had Vialli and Zola and
Zola.
Di Matteo and people like that, they watched what they were eating and what they did and stuff like that. And the people at the club started doing what they did just to be like the Italians. So at the end of the day, it wasn't just Wenger. Wenger was probably started it off, but others, because others they're all used to it in their countries, and that's what they did. They didn't do what we did here: have 20 fags before a game, have a couple of snifters of whiskey at half time, and then after the game have 40 fags and like 20 pints of beer. They don't do that in other countries. It's only here that we do that.
I know. Did you see Ian Wright when he was with Dennis Bergkamp? He went to Dennis Bergkamp's house and he was reminiscing about the Arsene Wenger years, right? And he was talking to Dennis Bergkamp and he goes, I really fancied some burger and chips with some ketchup, right? And he knew that And Bergkamp kept him on the straight and narrow. He goes, no, you're not allowed it, righty. If you want to perform on a Saturday, you're not having it. And he was really pining for ketchup on things because he was so used to having ketchup with everything.
Yeah, of course. But that's like when Capello went to when he was England manager. He wanted to take all the beer and stuff away, and like but that's cultural though, isn't it? You can't take players' culture away from them just because you want it to be different. You're taking the soul out of players' culture and their lives, and the environment out of and that's why it didn't work. Not because he wasn't a good manager, but
and do you know what? The Germans probably drink more the beer than the English because their bloody tankards are like 3 times bigger. When they drink their, what's it called? The Stein, isn't it?
Stein,
That's massive. That's massive, isn't it?
So obviously, Ellie, you've never done a yard of ale then.
No, I don't like beer.
No, but the yard, when you have to do the yard of ale.
Oh, no,
yard of ale, it's a pipe that's a yard long, right? And so it's a pipe, and then down at the end of it, like a bowl in it, that yard of ale holds more than a Stein, if you can do a yard of ale.
No, that's for the men. I'm not doing that. I like if I'm drinking, which I very rarely do, I just like Malibu. I like rum. Malibu, my favourite drink.
Malibu.
Malibu over here in Spain, Malibu and piña and pineapple juice. Beautiful.
Or any Jamaican rum. It doesn't have to be Malibu. It could be any Jamaican rum. Because growing up in Tottenham, we had a lot of Jamaican people living down my road, and they made their own Jamaican rum, or they imported it.
Yeah, but I don't class Malibu as rum, man.
No, it's weak. It's weak compared to the Jamaican rum. The proper Jamaican rum, it's strong.
Yeah. When you get 70% proof rum, then you're drinking proper rum, man. And just as we say that, rum punch, once you've eaten, nice to do. Greedy as rum punch will shame you or embarrass you. Trust not.
Oh, no. I went to a lot of Jamaican parties when I was younger, and they did have the rum punch.
Yeah,
I used lethal.
to drink. Rum is my choice of drink. I drink rum.
Yeah, it's lovely.
I haven't had a drink for ages and ages, but if I'm out, I will probably have a couple of beers and then I'm on the large rums straight away. And I end up a bit worse for wear on it. But rum is my typical choice. Yeah.
I like Southern Comfort as well. That's quite a nice drink.
Oh, come on, you're talking about that's proper girls' drink. Southern Comfort and Malibu.
Yeah, it is a proper girls' drink.
Yeah, and so is Malibu. Southern Comfort and Malibu.
Yeah, but I prefer the proper Jamaican rum. But then I have to have Coke with it. I won't have it straight. It's too strong to drink straight. I don't want to fall over and embarrass myself.
We're going to end up with a channel of alcoholics if we carry on this.
No, I like Baileys as well, but that's a girl's drink, I think.
Oh, I don't know. I like having a Baileys and brandy. Mix it in together.
Yeah.
Nice, potent. Baileys and brandy together.
Do you have it without ice? Because I have mine without ice. I don't like it with ice.
I can have it with or without.
I put it in the fridge though. I put it in the fridge so it's a bit colder.
The Baileys.
Because if it's warm, it's not nice.
Yeah. Normally with the brandy, it's good to stick the bottle in your microwave and heat the brandy up.
My husband, right, he's had a really gammy tooth for quite a while, and he always buys a bottle of brandy, to calm the nerves down. And the other day he had to go to hospital to have his tooth out. I said, now you can come off the brandy, T. You don't need it anymore. They did root canal on his tooth.
Yeah, I had the excuse, and that excuse is gone now, and I cannot drink alcohol because my excuse is gone, unless I come up with another tooth is hurting me now. Right, I don't know. It's 20 past 2 here.
It's 2:30.
Is that? I thought it's 20 past.
Is it 2:34?
2:19.
Oh, right. It's 2:34 on how long we've been going.
Yeah, 2:34 is how long we've been back. But
Yeah, get to bed.
I think I need to get to bed. And Chris, it's an hour later. It's an hour later for Chris in Spain.
I know, he's doing well. He's like me, Chris. He doesn't sleep.
Mm.
It's not like I can't. So
same here. I just can't sleep. I just can't sleep. I can't switch off. Do you sleep well, Jose?
Sorry,
do you sleep well?
Well, my wife says to me that when I hit the pillow, she goes, she can't believe that I can go to sleep like that.
Yeah. Well,
I don't believe I do, because I know that I'm fidgeting and trying to get comfortable. So, but she says no. She says I fall asleep straight away. So
what I say to my husband, if I just say to him, if Raquel Welsh was in bed, you wouldn't fall asleep that quick, would you?
Spurs Squad.
You make him laugh.
Bootleg.l.do-tell. I don't know what. Bootleg L. Do tell. I could tell stories about moonshine in America when I was out in America drinking moonshine. I could talk about poutine, drinking illegal poutine in Ireland. I could talk about drinking aguardiente in Spain. I could talk about drinking illegal mezcal. God, I've done it all. In my time, I've done it all. I've drank all the wicked drinks that I've had absinthe as well. I've drank all the wicked drinks. So
have you ever tried Greek Zivania? That's normally it's in between 70 and 90% proof.
I've had some stuff out of Greece, right?
It's great.
That's clear. It's clear.
Yeah,
it's like white.
It is white. Yeah.
And you down it and it warms your body, just goes on fire straight away.
That's it. Yeah. That's Zivania.
Yeah, I've had that stuff as well. So yeah, listen. I could tell you some famous stories about drinking, but drinking ain't a big thing. But I used to smash it all when I was younger. I used to be a real big party animal. So
yeah, I could imagine.
Yeah, times have gone now. I'm not like that anymore. You've got Nita Rock. I ain't Jamaican. My fam comes from Montserrat, but we know how to party hard when life gives you time to be with people you love. Correct. That's very, very, very true.
I've got a very good friend from Montserrat. She said there's a massive volcano there, right, which is not very stable. They've got a massive. She always talks about the volcano. I don't know why. She goes, I'm so glad I live in England because there's no volcanoes.
Fair enough.
She used to, when I was younger and I used to take my kids to school, she was another mother and we got very, very friendly, very lovely woman. The Montserrat, they're nice people, right? Yeah. Really, really nice people. And like I met her family and we just struck it off, you know. Sometimes you strike it off with people and they're your friends for life, you know. And she only lives down the road from me now, so I see her all the time.
Yeah, I know Jamaicans, Trinis from Trinidad, Bajans from Barbados. God, I know people from the islands, from St. Nevis, Kitts. God, I know people from all over the West Indies. I grew up in an area which was populated heavily by West Indian people. So
same here. My road.
Yeah, South London is full of West Indian people.
And Tottenham is as well. When I was growing up, down my road, it was like mostly Jamaican people and people from St. Kitts, from Barbados, a few, not many, but we had quite a few Spaniards as well.
Yeah,
we had quite a few Spaniards.
I used to go across West London. I used to go across West London to party down the front line at Ladbroke Grove, and I used to go south to the front to Electric Avenue in Brixton as well, to party down that way as well. Many. I'm talking many moons ago. I don't look that old, but
that was a famous song.
Chris, you must have lived in England, yeah?
I did until I was 18.
Yeah, I thought so, because you haven't got a Spanish accent.
I don't have anything. I have British.
So what are you saying?
That's my mother.
You saying I've got a Spanish accent then, Ellie? Is that what you're saying?
No,
Yeah,
you
have
sound
definitely.
English.
Can help.
You sound English. You don't sound like this, you know, like a Greek person.
Okay, so I'll just call myself Dave.
Plain
old- I'm plain old Dave. Nice to meet you.
Well, my proper Greek name is Aglaia, right? But if you say it in English, it's Alea. And then my brothers just called me Ellie because they said, you're not going to school.
Yeah.
They said, you're not going to school with a name like Aglaia. No one's going to pronounce it. So you're going to school with the name Ellie. And it just stuck.
Yeah.
It was from the Beverly Hillbillies. The grandmother was called Miss. Yeah. You're not that old though. You can't remember the Beverly Hillbillies.
No, the only Ellie I can remember was fucking in Dallas.
Yeah, Miss Ellie. Yeah. Yeah. So my real name is not Ellie, but you know what? I've been called it all my life, so I don't even use my Greek name.
Yeah.
No. Is your proper name's Jose, isn't it? Or is
Jose.
it, yeah, Jose. And
Jose.
your proper name is Chris.
No,
Yeah, they call it.
No, because sometimes people change their names. You know, when Spanish people or Greek people come to England, if they've got a longer name or they've got a name that's hard to pronounce, they change their name.
Yeah, they call me Gertrude in Spain.
Gertrude Garcia.
Yeah.
No, I'm Christopher, and I always have been. So
Christopher, that's a lovely name.
Cristobal.
Yeah.
Cristobal. Well, there we go. Right.
Yeah,
anyway.
in Greek, your name is Christakis.
No, it'd be Christophoros.
Christopher, Chris is Christakis. Because it's after Christ, isn't it?
Oh, Jesus.
Or Jesus.
No, Christos. No, but my name, my name, my wife's name, and my daughter's name are all Greek.
Okay, what's your wife's name?
Nike.
Nike, yeah. And your daughter?
Which is Veronica.
Okay.
And my daughter's name is Ariadne.
Ah, yeah. That is a proper Greek name.
Yeah. So mine is Christophoros.
Christophoros,
Nike and Ariadne. And my son's name is Irish 100%.
So you Irish and Spanish?
My dad is from Northern Ireland and my mum's from Spain.
Oh, okay then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice one. My brother Sodiri is married to an Irish girl. Her name was Kate O'Sullivan.
Oh, well, there you go then. That's a real Irish name.
Yeah,
Catherine O'Sullivan.
Catherine O'Sullivan.
From the O'Sullivan clan. There you go.
It's the most.
To be sure.
To be sure.
Yeah, O'Sullivan and O'Toole is probably the two biggest Irish names, isn't it? And Riley, that's quite a big Irish name.
Jesus, Mary and the wee donkey.
And Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
That's Dermot. Dermot. It's funny.
Right, listen, I've got to wrap this up. I'm going to go to bed. I was going to wrap it up 8 minutes ago, and people started saying goodbye, and we're still talking about foreign names and languages. Right, let me say, thank you very much to both of you for coming on.
That's fine.
Thank you very much for the people that have participated in the chat. It's a late one, and I don't know if it's late for you, but it was late for me, so it's a late one. Impromptu. I did message Colin, but Colin's not answering me, so he's probably still out with his lovely Beth. So Colin, I ended up going live, Cole. so Colin will find it. So with that, all I'm going to say is, have you got any last words to say before we shoot off?
Hoi
I do.
Hoi bien.
I do.
Hoi bien.
I would just like to say thank you to everybody that's joined. That's here. Anyone new? It's not my show, but anyway. And the comment that Totspur's made, which is his second to last, Jose. Thank you very much for that comment. So
Is that
I do appreciate.
Yeah.
I appreciate everybody, but thank you for that one, especially that one. So
Can you bring it
I love
up?
you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to it now. Sorry. This one?
Yeah, because he said, bring your show back, bro. And and I said,
this is your response. So Chris' response was, someday, mate, don't know when, how, why, Totspur. And he's then responded back by saying that.
Yeah, you should bring your show back when you're ready, though. It's up to you. All right.
So thank you for that comment, Totspurs.
And as we're saying, good night, Nita. I said, big up 59 born in North London, just up from White Hart Lane. Love you, Tottenham Hotspur. The true North London club ain't bothered. And then you've got Totspur saying, always got a thought for you, bud. Right.
I want to say one more thing, Jose.
Yeah, by all means.
Me, Kate, and Mia, we've joined forces, and we're bringing out a new show called "To Dare Is to Debate," and it's going to be a good one. So you two guys, we're going to get you on. Don't worry. Yeah.
Oh no.
We'll send you some links. I know sometimes you've got to go over the head, and like forget your differences, and like I'll get you on there. Don't worry. I'll talk to the people that I know. Right.
So
and we'll have a good time because it's going to be a good debate show, and we're going to cover other things as well. But the debate shows are going to be good because we're going to have lots of people disagreeing, which is good. It makes for a good show.
Yeah, why not? Right, anyway, why not? Right, with that, Chris Ellie, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jose. Thank you for having us on.
No worries. Thank you to everyone in the chat for watching and for commenting. You're the ones that keep the show going. And with that, I will say, in Ange we trust. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
My team has got James Maddison. James Maddison is what we need. Whoa, thank God we got James Maddison. This kid plays ball like you would never believe. Whoa.